In the 08 is Cody Hardage. Next row down on the inside, out of Baytown, the 25S of Little Robbie Starnes. On the outside, out of Eider. In the 22, it's Tracy Denby Sr. Next row down on the inside, out of Brenham in the 7D, it's Austin Thies. On the outside, out of Lavernia in car number 29, it's Jamie Campbell. And rounding out the pack in the 33K out of Danbury, it's Ray Allen Kahonic. Here we go, 8 laps for your late models. Heat race number 2, green flag. Turn number 1, they go. Dead heat, sitting and working down on the bottom. Hardage up on the top side, drives him up the hill. Sitting will hold on to that top spot. Here comes Little Robbie Starnes down on the bottom, darting through the field. The 7D of Austin Thies making their way around. The 7D down on the bottom will go to the 3rd spot, up in front of the 08 car of Cody Hardage. Back straightaway they go. It's Kevin Sitton holding the point. Starnes holding on to the 2nd spot. And Austin Thies is your 3rd place car. Little trouble, oh my goodness, on the binders right there as Robbie Starnes goes into the corner. Great job by the 7D, almost a little bit of contact right there, able to stay off him. Now they stretch it out as they make their way onto the back straightaway. Your leader in the 1 is Kevin Sitton as he makes his way around. Robbie Starnes holding on to the 2nd spot. Austin Thies hanging on, followed by Cody Hardage and Tracy Denby Sr. Tracy Denby Sr. now has some company behind him as Ray Allen Kahonic right there in the 33 car, the 33K, trying to make his way into the 5th spot. Kahonic will take it up to the top of the racetrack. 3-car battle right there as you check in on Speed Pass. You got Tracy Denby, Cody Hardage, and Ray Allen Kahonic. They wheel it out of turn number 2 onto the back straightaway. Leaders flashing out of turn number 4. Front of the pack continues to be Sitton, but the battle wages on back here for 4th. Tracy Denby holding on to the 4th spot, but right there is Cody Hardage. Ray Allen Kahonic will go down to the bottom of the racetrack. Kahonic will go side by side, back up to the front of the pack, continuing to be Kevin Sitton in car number 1, hanging on as this next time by. White flag will be in the air. Sitting onto the back straightaway. Here's a 25 of Robbie Starnes. Austin Thies hanging on right there. White flag. One more trip around Texana Raceway Park for the driver, car number 1, Kevin Sitton. Starnes hanging on to the 2nd spot. Austin Thies right there. Here comes Robbie Starnes down to the inside. What a push off of turn number 2. Robbie Starnes trying to pull a last lap pass. It will not happen. Kevin Sitton, Robbie Starnes, Austin Thies, that is your top 3. Ray Allen Kahonic and Tracy Denby. What a move at the end of the race right there by Robbie Starnes, but not able to pull off the pass. As they raced it out of corner number 4, that was some kind of push by the driver of the 25, but he will settle for the 2nd spot. Heat race number 3 rolling out. 6 cars in your 3rd heat race on the pole. Car number 407D out of Magnolia. It is Neil Manchester on the outside out of Schertz. Car number 19 is Barry Quaid. Row 2 on the inside out of Baytown. Brian Stipe, car number 15 on the outside. And that gorgeous number 44, that throwback Terry Labonte 1984 NASCAR Winston Cup Championship livery out of Victoria. It is Eddie Hardage. And rounding out the pack down on the inside out of Floresville, Ryan McDonald in car number 5. Also out of Lavernia, or now out of Lavernia in car number 57, it is Jason Kelly. That is your starting lineup for heat race number 3, green flag. Late arriver out onto the racetrack, Bobby Jack in car number 88, back of the pack. Look at that gaggle up at the front. Barry Quaid able to go to the front of the pack, but my goodness, Manchester right there. Here comes Hardage in the 44. They go side by side for the 2nd spot. The 19 car of Quaid will hold on. Manchester right behind him. Eddie Hardage side by side on the back straightaway. Little contact right there. Manchester rubbing up against the 19 of Barry Quaid. Here comes Quaid trying to push it down to the bottom of the racetrack. Front of the pack. Manchester, Quaid, Hardage, followed by the 15 car of Stipe and Jason Kelly. That is your top 5. Trouble. Hardage up to the top of the racetrack. Quaid up to the top of the racetrack. Brian Stipe passes 2 cars coming out of corner number 2, and Stipe will now run in the 2nd spot as they all chase Neil Manchester in the 407D. 15 car trying to get a push right there. Here comes Hardage down to the bottom in car number 44. and it will be Eddie Hardage into the final podium spot as they make their way around. The 15 car of Stipe trying to hold on. We are halfway home. Halfway home that time by. Neil Manchester up at the front of the pack. He has checked out from the pack, but the action is happening behind him. There was Stipe and Hardage, followed by the 19 car of Quaid and Jason Kelly trying to get up into that action as well. They make their way out of turn number 4. Now they begin to string it out as we work lap number 6 onto the back straightaway. Neil Manchester out of Magnolia takes it up to the top of the racetrack. He'll wheel it way up to the top and bring it out of turn number 4. Yellow flag on the racetrack. Caution flag. Jason Kelly, who was running in the 5th spot. Kelly spins in turn number 1. Caution flag comes out on the racetrack, and that is what Neil Manchester did not want to see, as Manchester had gone bye-bye here from the pack. And now Brian Stipe with a fantastic move right there as he's able to make the pass on Barry Quaid, and Eddie Hardage has himself into the 2nd spot, and he will be right up on the back bumper of the 407D of Neil Manchester as we race here with 3 laps to go in your super late model heat race number 3. Kelly back on the gas, and he will rejoin the fray there at the back of the pack in that famous Kelly green car, made famous by his dad, John Kelly, longtime asphalt racer. The state of Texas, lots of TIDA late model wins, past champion over at Highway 16 Raceway, San Antonio Raceway. The Kelly tradition continues there as Jason runs that famous livery right there at the back of the pack. Here they come around, Manchester on the gas. Green flag, we're racing. Manchester takes the field end into turn number 1. Hardage will try to make the pass on Stipe. Back straight away they go. Hardage to the 2nd spot. The battle happening right there behind him. Ryan McDonald all over the back right there of Barry Quaid. Out of corner number 4. 2 sticks in the air for Neil Manchester. Stipe holding on in that 2nd spot, followed by Eddie Hardage and Barry Quaid. Ryan McDonald right there behind him. Back straight away they go. Manchester will carry the field down into turn number 3. Brian Stipe holding on to the 2nd spot. Checkered flag in the, white flag in the air this time by Manchester, hanging on. Stipe trying to reel him in right now, but this is Manchester's race to lose, as he has been in total domination of this race since the drop of the green flag. He'll go down to the bottom of the racetrack as now the checkered flag will wave. Neil Manchester is your winner in the 407D. Brian Stipe comes home 2nd. Eddie Hardage, Barry Quaid, and Ryan McDonald round out your top 5. Good racing right there from your super late models. Now coming up, as we are racing here tonight, $5,000 to win for your factory stocks. Now, we have only a few spots left. 2 of these cars will get in. It is your factory stock last chance qualifier. Here they come out onto the racetrack. 2 cars in, and here's how they will go to the stripe. On the pole in the 8S out of San Antonio to be Johnny Torres. On the outside out of Pearland, 44D Jason Downey. Row 2 on the inside, car number 149 out of CC. It's Steven Danielson. On the outside out of San Antonio in the 11X. It's Dylan Gaither. Row 3 on the inside, and the 13J, it'll be Johnny Johnson out of the Valley, out of McAllen. On the outside from right here in Edna, the 11D of John Drexler. Row 4 on the inside, out of Sinton in the 9C, Caitlin Leonard. On the outside, out of Odom, it'll be Daniel Preston. Row 5 on the inside, car number 179 out of Spring, Grant Whitney. On the outside, the 133 out of Corpus Christi of Hector Aguirre. Rounding out the pack, car number 7 out of Corpus Christi, Jesse Sandoval. And car number 36P, final car out of Victoria, it's Michael Pesic. Two cars will go in. The top 2 cars out of this race will punch their ticket to the big show. There will be 2 provisionals that will to be determined after that, but this right here, This is position 21 and 22. Will come out of this LCQ here for your factory stocks. 12-lap last chance qualifier. Here they come around. You have to be in the top two if you want to race here tonight. Otherwise, you load it on the trailer and you are done for the night. Looks like a little bit of a change right there as our lineup is not exactly how it was presented to me, because it is Johnny Johnson there in the 13. I do not see the 8S. Do not see the 8S. Johnny Torres out on the racetrack here at the moment. You got Downey up on the top side. Here's Johnny Johnson, the 149 car as well. Looks like a Steven Danielson also is not on the racetrack. So we are minus 2 cars, so we are down to 10 cars. So 10 cars trying to battle here for 2 spots. Johnny Johnson up on the point on the outside. Jason Downey in car 44D. Lights are out around the racetrack. 12-lap heat race. Caitlin Leonard sit on the inside of row number 2 in the 9C as they race for their lives here tonight, trying to get to the 40-lap main event. $5,000 on the line. Here we come. Green flag. Downey up on the top side. Gaither trying to chase him down into the corner. Johnny Johnson right there. Caitlin Leonard down to the bottom of the racetrack. Caitlin Leonard in the 9C. Johnny Johnson, a little bit of contact. Oh, the 11D continuing to pound the fence. Over on the backside is John Drexler. He will settle back. They make their way out of the corner. It is Downey in the 44D, followed by Gaither, Johnny Johnson, the 9C of Caitlin Leonard, and Daniel Preston there in the 6-inch. Those 5 cars trying to get away from the pack. The action happening behind them. Whitney, Jesse Sandoval, along with the 113 of Hector Aguirre, but they are stinking like a rock in a fishbowl. Here they come around. Downey in the catbird seat in car number 1, or car number 44D. The 11 car of Gaither hanging on right there. You got a battle happening right there behind him with Johnny Johnson, Caitlin Leonard, and Daniel Preston making their way out of the corner. Leonard trying to work down at the bottom. She'll get back in line once again as Johnny Johnson holding on to the 3rd spot. 3rd is not good enough in this race. Johnny Johnson, Caitlin Leonard, Daniel Preston are going to have to find a way to get up to the 11X of Dylan Gaither, because as it stands right now, it's only Downey and Gaither that go to the show as they make their way around here in this 12-lap last chance qualifier. That is lap number 4. 4 laps in the books right there. Gaither trying to reel in the 44. Question will be, what does he do if he gets there? How close are these guys going to race each other? Because they know they're at the front of the pack. They know they're the ones in. This is lap number 6. We are halfway home right here. Jason Downey up at the front of the pack out of Pearland. San Antonio's Gaither riding in the 2nd spot. Dylan Gaither right there. Johnny Johnson, Caitlin Leonard, as they begin to try to separate themselves just a little bit from Daniel Preston. Preston sitting back in the 5th spot. Remember, there will still be 2 provisionals that will be added to the race. And that is at the track option, as I believe. So down into the corner they go. Back straight away continues to be Jason Downey, setting a nice pace here in this last chance qualifier. A very comfortable advantage as they run right now. Here he comes out of corner number 4. Downey has Johnny Johnson right there. It's 1.79 seconds. 1.79 seconds is the advantage for the 44 car of Jason Downey. But here comes Johnny Johnson. Johnny Johnson is going to have to make a push right here. He's running out of time. This is lap number 8, and pardon me, this is a 10-lap last chance qualifier, as we lost 2 cars, so we go to 10 cars, 10 laps. Onto the back straightaway they go. Downey sitting very comfortably, almost a 2-second advantage. Gaither holding on to the 2nd spot. Let's watch Johnny Johnson. He's got to give that 13 car all that he can in the 13J. White flag in the air one more time around. Gaither hanging on to the 2nd spot. Johnny Johnson will try to make a run off of the corner. Onto the back straightaway they go. Jason Downey hanging on. He will most likely win as he brings out of corner number 4. Checkered flag in the air. Jason Downey into the A-main. The 11X, Dylan Gaither into the A-main. Johnny Johnson, Caitlin Leonard, Daniel Preston come up just a bit short as they end up 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So 2 more cars into the race, so now our field is set at 22 cars. We will start 24, the 2 provisionals still to be determined. The 44 car of Downey and Gaither able to race their way in there in the LCQ. A little bit of extra action happening for you right here out on the racetrack. This will be fun to watch right here. Here they come around. Green flag in the air. Here they go, making their way into corner number 3. Allgaier on the point. Down into turn number 1. Allgaier making his way down into corner number 1. Now into turn number 3. Firm command right here. 2 sticks in the air, 2 more times around. Working down at the bottom of the racetrack. Back straightaway he goes. White flag in the air right here. One more time around for Jude Allgaier. On to the backstretch. Now into turn number 3, out of corner number 4. Checkered flag in the air. Jude Allgaier. is your winner. Allgaier, the winner right there, as he makes his way down into turn number 1. Here in the Restrictor 600s. He will make his way here to Texana Raceway Park Victory Lane, our first main event winner of the night. That's how you make an entrance right there. How about that? Yep, throws the steering wheel. Getting ready to jump out of the car is the dude. The dude is the winner. As he'll get ready to jump out, he'll take home this big trophy here at the 2021 Texana Clash. In the Restrictor 600s. Safety gear coming off. There we go. Here he is, jumping out of the car. It is the dude right here. He's going to make his way up, going to the top. There he is. Jude Allgaier is your winner here tonight in the Restrictor 600s here at the 2021 Clash at Texana Raceway Park.
It's taller than me. That's just...
Oh, man, what a run right there, my friend. You saw the green flag, and you didn't stop till the checkered. Walk us through that. How's the track, by the way?
It was pretty good.
Oh, okay. So talk. So how long you been racing?
3 years.
Pretty impressive. What do you think of that big old trophy? It's taller than you.
It's sick.
I love it. I love it. Any folks that you want to thank? Obviously, you've got family. Tell us who all helps get you on the racetrack.
Let's go, Brandon.
There he is. Jude Allgaier is your winner. He takes home the big trophy as he wins it in the Restrictor 600s. He's got the sponsors. Okay.
Lost Lagoon, Septic Fit, KR Promotions, Dam Services, Bigger Wrecker Services, Dirt Heath and Apparel, Luann Kalman, Magnum Services, Weldon Buford, Laramie Crane Racing, Chris Staff Construction, BLS Construction, Challenger Services, and that's it.
There you go. Jude Allgaier right there. How about that? That's how you call out your sponsors right there. Well done. This young dude wins it here tonight, taking that big old trophy home. Hey, everybody, our street stock champion, Robert Danielson, making his way right there. He's got T-shirts. Anybody wants T-shirts? We're going to start down there at turn number 1. They're going to make their way. They'll throw those up to you. Don't hurt yourselves. Don't hurt yourselves. T-shirts making their way up. You want one, make a bunch of noise, and he'll throw them your direction right there. His car is over at turn number 4 right there. Go check that car out. That is your street stock champion, Robert Danielson. In the 87. He's got the free T-shirts right there for you tonight. Take home a souvenir, courtesy of your street stock champion, right here at Texana Raceway Park. Coming up, race fans, it will be your limited modifieds as they will get set to go with their B mains. B mains for the limited modifieds, 3 cars. 3 cars out of each B main will transfer into the A main coming up here a little bit later on tonight. Prior to that, however, we are going to have one quick hot lap session because there are 4 cars that did not get on the track tonight that are in the A main for the factory stocks. They will come out on the racetrack for a quick hot lap session. Your factory stock cars, you've got Dalton Faulkner, you got Jeff Hammett. They were the 2 that were in the main event before we ever started tonight. In your limited modifieds, Lawrence Miklicek and Edward Oaks. They have not been on the track, so they will have a hot lap session right now. These are your 4 cars that were punched tickets in before we ever started the action here tonight. So the only car that we are not seeing on the track at the moment is Lawrence Miklicek. Still waiting on that car to make his way out, but he is solidly into the limited modified B main event here tonight, or limited modified A main event tonight. Edward Oaks earned the 53 limited modified, the 27 of Dalton Faulkner, Jeff Hammett. Miklicek electing not to hot lap, but getting a quick hot lap session in for those 3 cars as they had not been on the track tonight. Now it's time for your limited modified B mains as they make their way out. Three B mains and the top 6 will transfer into the A main. For your first race in the 98H out of New Waverly, it's Garrett Higgins on the outside. Out of Portland in the 101 is Tanner Whitmire. Row 2 on the inside out of Coldspray, Texas, the 41 of Chad Hughes. On the outside out of Odin, the BD2 of Daniel Preston. Row 3 on the inside out of Pearland, the 164 of Jason Downey. On the outside, Nathan Oaks out of Cuero, car number 21. Row 4 on the inside of the BD1 out of CC, it is Eddie Ross. On the outside out of Richmond, Caleb Cellulaire. Row 5 down on the inside out of Granite Shoals in car number 8, it's Doug Ripple. On the outside out of East Bernard in the 46X, it's Trent Dixon. Rounding out the starting lineup for limited modified B main number 1 out of San Antonio in the 11D, set to go is Tommy Grothus. Here we go. 10-lap B main as we get ready to roll, making their way down into corner number 3. Remember, the top 6 will go to the A. Green flag, we're racing. Off they go. Tanner Whitmire up on the top side by side battle happening behind him, working down a little bit of contact. Oh, around goes the 21. Back straight away they go. Tanner Whitmire is there. The battle happening right behind him. 2 cars stopped over at turn number 2. Caution flag out on the racetrack. Nathan Oaks in car number 21. Also involved there, Cellulaire. That car is rolling as well, but a nice hole shot move right there, Tanner Whitmire, as he's able to go to the front of the pack, but it'll be all for naught as we'll re-rack and restack and try it one more time as the caution flag comes out. Garrett Higgins right there behind him. Here is the 21 of Oaks creeping along the front straightaway right here. And everybody back in line once again, so we will get set to go once again. It is Whitmire up at the front of the pack in the 101, showing officially no laps complete, so we'll double check if this will be a complete restart or if we will go Texas two-step. It looks like that's what we will do. Whitmire out by himself out at the front of the pack. And now here's Higgins back up to the front of the pack. Higgins, your pole sitter there in the 98. H car back into position. So now we're double stacked once again. And we are ready to roll once again. 10 laps, 6 cars go into the A main event here out of each one of these limited modified B main events. 33 strong in the pits here this weekend at Texana Raceway Park. Lights continue to stay on here around the racetrack. It looks like we'll pace them around one more time. Going to pace them around at least one more time. Here's we try to restart this first B main. And now the black flag, rolled up black flag being displayed. Looks like at the 8 car, Doug Ripple. So a little bit of warning right there from the principal. So we'll get the 8 car back to the inside of row number 5. As he's still sitting up, and there probably needs to be back one more spot down on the inside. Yellow flashing lights still on as we work this lineup. Race control via receiver in communication with these drivers. So the jockeying happened right back there, looking to get the 8 car down to the inside of row number 5. 8 car to the inside of row number 5. And it looks like we will have a red flag. And obviously a very unhappy race director out onto the racetrack. He's asking these guys, why the hell are you not listening to your receiver? Lineup should be Higgins on the point in the 98H on the outside, Whitmire. Hughes on the inside of row number 2, Preston on the outside. Downey on the inside of row number 3, Craig Oaks on the outside, Ross, Cellular, Ripple, Dixon. And still working to get this lineup right. And it looks like we have them. We're going to roll them back under caution once again. So Garrett Higgins and Tanner Whitmire up at the front of the pack. Lights will go out around the racetrack as we get set to go. Lights will go out this time by as Garrett Higgins and Tanner Whitmire will take the field 2 by 2 down the back straightaway here at Texana Raceway Park. And we will get set to go once again here for 10 laps. Top 6 cars will lock themselves into the A main event here for the limited modifieds. Higgins on the point, Whitmire on the top side as we are ready to roll. Here they come, your limited modifieds. Green flag. Higgins, nice jump, and Whitmire up on the top side. Down into turn number 1. Higgins trying to slam it down into the corner. Whitmire's going to cross it down to the bottom of the racetrack. There they go down into the corner. Chad Hughes is sitting back there. Daniel Preston, here they come around up to the top. It is the 2BD. Making his way up there of Daniel Preston. Preston way up to the top of the racetrack. Caution flag on the racetrack once again. Caution flag on the racetrack waves. Debris over turn number 2. There's something sitting right in the racing groove right there. So that is the reason for your caution flag. Track safety crew will make their way out to get that picked up. So we had been smooth and nice here until we get to this first B main here for your limited modifieds, and we have had 2 starts that have gone by the wayside. Debris picked up, so we will try it once again. Nice battle happening right there up at the front of the pack with Higgins, the 101 of Whitmire, and Preston. Lights are out around the racetrack. Texas two-step restart. Garrett Higgins is your leader. Preston down on the inside. Tanner Whitmire up on the top side. We are ready to roll. One lap complete here in limited modified B main number 1. Green flag. We're off and racing. Into turn number 1. Garrett Higgins right there. Whitmire up at the top. Preston trying to work down at the bottom of the racetrack. Here comes a 41 car. Chad Hughes. 3 wide down the back straightaway. Hughes down on the bottom. Little bit of contact right there as it is the BD2 car of Daniel Preston settling up to the top of the racetrack. He's got company behind him. The 164, Jason Downey. Downey chasing the BD2 up on the top side of the racetrack. Front of the pack, it's Garrett Higgins. Here comes Daniel Preston. Stabs a brake right there. Whitmire hanging on. Whitmire will sail up the racetrack. Going with him is Preston. They make their way down the front straightaway once again. The 164 is your 4th place car. That's Jason Downey. Nathan Oakes, car number 21, rounding out your top 5. But he's got company right there. That's Caleb Cellulaire trying to make his way into that 5th spot. 6 cars go into the main. Little contact. Around they go. 8 car Doug Ripple contact with Eddie Ross. And the caution flag will wave once again. Caution flag at lap number 4. As into the corner, Doug Ripple right there was sitting down at the bottom of the racetrack. Eddie Ross making contact with him. They both go around the Ross car, getting moving now, but you had synchronized spinning over there on turn number 4. And we are working towards the halfway point here in this 10-lap main event, or 10-lap B main number 1 of 3. Here for your limited modifieds, and this one right here has come to a screeching halt once again. With Garrett Higgins, your race leader, up at the front of the pack in the 98H. Tanner Whitmire rides in second. The BD2 of Daniel Preston, Jason Downey, Nathan Oakes. That is your top 5 as we get set to go for a Texas two-step restart. Showing them one this time by, showing them one right here, and updating that top 5 for you. It is Higgins, followed by Whitmire, Preston, 21 car of Oakes, 164 Jason Downey up on the outside. 4 laps complete out of 10. Garrett Higgins up on the point in car number 98H. Texas two-step restart, lights still on the racetrack. Now they go off. Higgins will take the field down into turn number 3. We get set to go once again. Going to hit the gas right about now, and we are ready. Green flag. Higgins, nice jump. But here comes Whitmire behind him, down on the bottom of the racetrack. Daniel Preston will settle into the 3rd spot. Gaggle of race cars happening right there behind him. Jason Downey in the 164. 21 car, Nathan Oakes taking a peek down on the bottom. They're double stacked back behind them. Doug Ripple spins at turn number 3, but he will get rolling once again. Halfway home this time by. The 8 car is off and rolling. Garrett Higgins, car number 98, followed by the 101, Tanner Whitmire, and the BD2 of Daniel Preston. That is your top 3, but look at the battle happening behind him. Oh, big time contact. 21 car gets sideways and makes contact with the 41. 21 car sideways. Chad Hughes nowhere to go. And Edward Oakes spins around and Chad Hughes takes a shot. Chad Hughes with a right rear tire that has gone flat. There's all kinds of damage over to the right side. As he was going down to the bottom of the racetrack, the 21 car cuts out of the spin and comes right across and makes the contact. But it looks like Chad Hughes is going to be the one a little worse for wear right there. 21 car back in line once again, and we quickly turn the lights back off and we are ready to go. Here we go. It is still Garrett Higgins up on the point. We race with 4 laps to go. Green flag in the air. Chad Hughes, Tanner Whitmire rides in the 2nd spot. Daniel Preston right there. Caleb Cellulaire down to the bottom of the racetrack. Way up the track goes Jason Downey. Now Cellular right in the 4th spot. Downey rides in 5th, and the final transfer spot at the moment is at 21 of Edward Oaks. Here they come, making their way around. Side-by-side battle for second. Down to the bottom is Daniel Preston. Up at the top of the racetrack is Tanner Whitmire. Next time by, 2 sticks in the air. It'll be 2 laps to go for your race leader in the 98H. That is Garrett Higgins. Here he comes making his way as he brings the field down. Car number 98H setting the pace. They're in limited modified B main number 1. Back straightaway he goes, he will carry an 8th car length advantage down into corner number 3. Whitmire hanging on, followed by Preston and Cellular there in that 4th spot. White flag one more time around for Garrett Higgins. Trying to go wire to wire here in this first B main. Down into turn number 1. Back straightaway they go. Higgins holding on. He is in cruise control right now as he goes into corner number 3. Here they come around, checkered flag in the air, limited modified, B main number 1. Garrett Higgins is your winner. Tanner Whitmire, Daniel Preston, Kayla Cellular, Jason Downey, Nathan Oakes. Those 6 cars will transfer into the A main. Top 6 cars into the A main. Garrett Higgins, your winner in limited modified, B main number 1. B main number 2 out onto the racetrack. Starting lineup on the point out of Weslaco. Car number 96 is Jared Maupin. On the outside, in the 77R out of Brazoria is Bryce Reed. Row 2 down on the inside, the 184 of Brian Rye out of Corpus Christi. On the outside out of Cleveland, the 91 of Calvin Tucker. Inside of row number 3, car number 14 out of San Antonio, Trent Beaver. On the outside out of Victoria, Cooper Kaliba in the 04. Row 4 on the inside out of Dayton, car number 23. It's a legend, Howard Willis. On the outside, out of Aransas Pass, it's Michael Carlock, Chandler Fox, Braden Tomlinson out of Victoria. Green flag. Turn number 1, off they go. Maupin working down at the bottom of the racetrack. Bryce Reed up on the top side. Reed with the push. Down the back straightaway he goes. Bryce Reed will take the field down into turn number 3. Here comes the 96, Jared Maupin working down at the bottom of the racetrack. Bryce Reed will lead lap number 1. Running right behind them in car number 91 is Calvin Tucker rounding out the top 3. 3-car breakaway happening right there. Now Maupin will settle back into the 3rd spot. Coming up for him is Brian Ryan, car number 184. Trent Beaver rounding out the top 5. The 23 car of Willis, he runs in the 6th spot. Front of the pack, Bryce Reed in the 77R trying to hang on. Here comes the 91. Calvin Tucker all over the back bumper, but Reed will carry 1 car length down into the corner as the 96 of Jared Maupin now settling back in. He's got that car running back on the backside of the 91 car of Tucker. Those 3 cars down into turn number 1. Side by side, down at the bottom of the racetrack. Reed will now get back in line once again behind the 77. Or pardon me, the 91 of Tucker will get back in line behind Reed. Here they come as they trail it out of corner number 4. Reed in the 77. To the inside, Jared Maupin. Jared Maupin trying to make the pass there on the 91 of Calvin Tucker, but Tucker working up on the top side. He'll get the drive off of turn number 2 and take that 2nd spot, holding on to the 2nd spot. Halfway home this time by. 5 down, 5 to go for Bryce Reed in car number 77R. The battle happening behind them. Trent Beaver holding on to the 4th spot. Howard Willis rides in 5th, and Brian Rye will be the last car as they run right now to transfer into the A main. Cooper Kaliba sitting on the bubble as he runs back in the 7th spot. Here is the leader, Reed, once again taking the field down into turn number 1. Tucker right on his tail. Now he'll take a peek down on the bottom. Too much power for Reed as he drives it off of the corner and he works up on the top side. Here's Tucker going back down to the bottom once again. Maupin in his shadow. This is lap number 7 this time by. 3 laps to go right there for Bryce Reed in the car number 77 as he leads in the 77R. Tucker holding on to the 2nd spot. Maupin, Beaver, Willis, and Rye. Those are the cars that transfer right now. Here they come around. Two more laps to go. Bryce Reed in the 77R. Here's Tucker. Tucker going down to the bottom of the racetrack. Tucker going to try to find some room down there, but Reed with that great drive off of the corner Maupin will stab the brakes right there. Side by side, Beaver and Howard Willis. White flag in the air. One more time around. Bryce Reed hanging on. Howard Willis will go to the 4th spot. The legend up on the top side. Trent Beaver down on the bottom, trying to make another stab. This Calvin Tucker, he'll get back in line. Here comes Maupin. Maupin down to the bottom of the racetrack. Out of turn number 4. Bryce Reed's going to hang on to win. Jared Maupin down on the bottom. It'll be Calvin Tucker, Maupin, followed by the 23 of Willis, Trent Beaver, and Brian Rye will transfer into the A main event. Nice drive all the way up to the 4th spot right there by Howard Willis as he turns on the heat right there at the end of that race. And he comes up to the 4th spot. That is limited modified B main number 2. One more set to go. B main number 3, top 6 will transfer in. Here's how they go to the stripe. On the point out of Anderson in car number 9. It's David Leger on the outside out of Magnolia. Troy Alford in the double knot. Row 2 down on the inside. Out of Robstown, car number 19 is Jared Barber on the outside. Out of San Antonio, car number 66, Johnny Torres. Inside of row number 3, in the H15 is Joseph Ponton Jr. out of Hockley. On the outside, out of Corpus, car number 13M, Ben Maklachek. Row 4 on the inside, out of Alvin. Adam Bartles on the outside, out of Hardin, Brandon Martin, Oliver Billingsley, and G.W. Hessong. Green flag. Turn number 1, they go. Leger down at the bottom of the racetrack. Off they go onto the backstretch. And it is the 00 of Troy Alford up to the front of the pack, followed by Leger. Johnny Torres right there behind him. Here they come, making their way out of turn number 4. 10-lap B main, 3rd B main, final B main. Top 6 cars transfer into the show. Up at the front of the pack, 00 continuing to hold on. It's Troy Alford as he leads by 5 car lengths. Leger trying to hold off the advances right there. Johnny Torres. Here comes the 4th place car starting to dig down up at the middle of the racetrack. That 42 car, that's Brandon Martin, the driver out of Hart. He has made his way all the way up. Here's Johnny Torres down to the inside. Texas Sweet Tea down on the bottom. Leger up on the top side. It'll be Johnny Torres going to the 2nd spot. He will set his sights on Troy Alford in the 00. Torres, Leger, followed by Martin, the 13, Emma Maklachek, the 19 of Jared Barber. Those cars are in the races. They run right now. G.W. Hessong trailing behind them. He's running at the bubble in position number 7. Single file around the racetrack. Lap number 4 this time by. Troy Alford is your leader. He has led from the drop of the green flag. But Johnny Torres has something happening right there in car number 66 as he had made some major ground up right now, and he runs 1 car length behind him. Alford holding on, but here comes Torres going down to the bottom of the racetrack. Leger in the 9, the 42 car sitting steady right there. Brandon Martin, your 4th place car, followed by Maklachek, Joseph Ponton Jr., and Jared Barber. That is your top 6 cars safely in the main event as they run right now. We are past the halfway point. This is lap number 6. 4 laps to go as the limited modifieds run single file. Now we get racing. Back around the 5th spot. Here we go. Ponton Jr. right there. He's got all kinds of company. Here's Jared Barber going down to the bottom of the racetrack, trying to make the pass on Ben Maklachek down into the corner. Maklachek middle of the racetrack. Barber going to try to crank that wheel, then drive it down to the bottom. That is for a transfer spot right there. No, pardon me, those cars are in. G.W. Hessong is the one that needs to get up to the back of the 19 car. This time by, we got 2 laps to go for your race leader. And we are getting racy up at the front of the pack. Troy Alford hanging on. Here Johnny Torres. Johnny Torres going down to the bottom of the racetrack. Alford up on the top side. He'll get the drive out of turn number 2. Torres up to the back bumper. Here they come. White flag in the air this time by. One more time around. Torres down to the bottom. Alford up on the top side. They go side by side into corner number 1. Johnny Torres gonna try to get the drive. Contact. Alford up on the top side. Johnny Torres down on the bottom. Torres will take the spot. Here comes Alford going down to the bottom of the racetrack. It'll be Johnny Torres on the top side. Troy Alford on the bottom. Torres at the line. Troy Alford, Leger, followed by the 42 car of Brandon Martin, Joseph Pond Jr., Ben Maklachek. Those cars will go to the A main. What a finish. What a finish. Johnny Torres right there makes the pass. Contact on the back straightaway with Alford. But it is Torres as he wins the third B main here in your limited modifieds. And our field is now set for the main event coming up tonight. Limited modifieds racing for $2,000. Here come your modifieds out onto the racetrack for their B main. We are set to go on the point. It's Nick Cellular in the 4S on the outside, in the 5, DJ Schrott. Next row down on the inside, the 96C of Foster Ellison on the outside, Chad Rockefeller. Robert Lease down on the inside. He'll start position number 5 on the outside. Cody Duke in the 26D. Adrian Awald set to go in the 7th position in car number 7. And the 45 car of Brandon Maklachek. Here we go. B main for the modifieds right here. They'll take it down into turn number 3. We are set. Green flag in the air. We're off and racing. Top 4 cars here in this B main will go to the A feature. Here they come making their way around. It's up close and personal up at the front of the pack. It is a 4 car. A Cellular holding on. The 5 car of DJ Schrott running in the 2nd spot. Off they go to the back straightaway, followed by the 96 car of Foster Ellison, Chad Rockefeller. Those 4 cars are in the A main as they run right now. Here they are coming out of corner number 4 here in this B main for your modifieds. They'll run down into the corner, setting it onto the back straightaway. Cellular holding on there in the 4S, followed by the 5 car of Schrott, Ellison, Rockefeller, Awalt, and Lease. That is your top 6. Trouble, turn number 2, or turn number 4, pardon me. 1 car goes around. It looks like the 5 car. The 2nd place car goes around, collects the 17 car. 1 other car involved over at the top of turn number 4 there. Unfortunate break right there for that car number 5 sitting in the 2nd spot. He goes around. Now to be all the way to the back of the pack. And how about that for Chad Rockefeller and Foster Ellison, as they're able to get through all of that mess, and now they hold on. They will run right inside the top 3. We're going to get the field back in line. Cellular there on the point. In the $4 up at the front of the pack. Trying to sort out the rest of the pack right there. The 77 car, Robert Lease, has some damage to that. But he is actually still running in the show right there as he sits 4th in line right there. Remember, the top 4. Top 4 are going to go here to the A main event here in your modifieds. Race control still working on that starting lineup, so it looks like we will pace around one more time under caution. Ellison in the 2nd spot. Here comes Rockefeller down to the inside, so Texas 2-step restart coming up. And it looks like we have everybody where they are supposed to be. Lights are off around the racetrack as we run 3 laps complete here in the B main for your IMCA modifieds. We're locked and loaded and ready to go. Here we go. Cellular up on the point of the $4. We're ready to rock and roll. Let's go. Green flag. Sending it down into turn number 1. A little bit of contact right there. Rockefeller in the 2, working down at the bottom, trying to take that spot. Ellison up on the top side. A little bit of contact right there once again. 77 car is Robert Lease up on the top side. The 17 car of Adrian Awald trying to stay in that top 4. You got the bubble spot in jeopardy right there. 77 car down at the bottom. Awald up on the top side. Back straightaway they go. Robert Lease will now settle into the 5th spot. He's out of the show. Here he comes down to the bottom. Robert Lease working down at the bottom. Awald up at the top of the racetrack. Halfway home that time by. Halfway home that time by. Down into the corner they go. Back straightaway. Trouble. The leader off the pace. Here comes Rockefeller. Down to the top side. Rockefeller will go to the point. 96 car going into the 2nd spot of Foster Ellison. Still Cellular will stay in the show as he rides in the 3rd spot. Down into turn number 1. Here's Robert Lease down on the bottom. Cellular stumbles right there once again. Now it's getting racing back there. Awald in the 17 trying to work down to the inside. 77 car of Lease hanging on up to the top side. There's Logan Dinsmore. Dinsmore trying to find spot up on the top side. 3 wide down into the corner. That is your battle for the final transfer spot. Awald, Dinsmore down to the inside. Dinsmore up and over, and he will now go to the 5th spot. He'll set his sight on Robert Lease. 2 sticks in the air. 2 more laps to go this time by for your race leader, Chad Rockefeller, as you got beating and banging happening all across this race as these modifieds racing for $1,000 to win tonight. Rockefeller up at the front of the pack. Top 4 will go to the show. Here they come around. It is Rockefeller taking the white flag, followed by Ellison, Cellular, and Robert Lease. But here comes Dinsmore down to the inside. Dinsmore trying to make the pass. That is for the final transfer spot. On the gas, Robert Lease trying to hold on. Down into corner number 3 they go. It'll be Rockefeller, your winner in the 2, as he will win the B main, followed by Foster, Ellison, Cellular. Robert Lease will take the final spot. Lease able to hold off Dinsmore, and he will go to the A main. And I'll tell you what, right there at the end of that race, you had guys battling for that 4th spot. You had guys going up and over each other. And that's how you race yourself into the A main. And now your A main is set for the modifieds as well tonight. All of the A mains are set. $1,000 on the line coming up for your IMCA modifieds here tonight at Texana Raceway Park. All right, race fans, attention in the grandstands, if you would, please. There is a Ford Super Duty truck out in the parking lot, license number PJL, that's Paul John Lisa, 1324, PJL 1324. If you could possibly make your way over to your vehicle, we have somebody needing to get out. PJL 1324. We have somebody needing to get out, so if you could help us out and let her make her way out of the facility here tonight, we'd appreciate it. All right, race fans, coming up, momentary pause, and I do mean momentary because we are working in the pits to get your lineup set. Coming up next, it will be $5,000 on the line here at the 2021 Texana Clash. Coming up, your factory stock main event, 40 laps of action. One last opportunity, make your way over to the concession stand, get yourself something cool to drink, something warm to drink. You have to take a pause for the cause. Go hit the little boys' room or the little ladies' room. Do that right now, because coming up, the Thunder about to happen. Main event action coming up, your A mains. It'll be your factory stocks, followed by your modifieds, your super late models, and your limited modifieds. That is coming up right here at Texana Raceway Park. 3 days of action here at Texana Raceway Park. 51 factory stocks making the haul to come race for you here tonight at the beautiful Texana Raceway Park. And we have trimmed it down to 24. Half the field is gone, and now 24 have survived. They will get set to go for that $5,000 winner share of the purse for 40 laps of action. Remember last year we had one heck of a factory stock race in 2020. I have a feeling 2021 is going to be just a tad bit better. Here they come rolling out. Your factory stocks coming out here to the front straightaway. All right, here we go. Factory stocks rolling, your starting lineup. 40-lap main event on the point out of Conroe, the 27F of Dalton Faulkner on the outside out of Edgewood. It's Jeff Hammond. Next row on the inside out of Robstown, Steve Grants on the outside. San Antonio's own Alan Torres. Row 3 on the inside, Memphis Villarreal on the outside, Cameron Starry. Row 4 down on the inside, Mickey Helms on the outside, Nathan Rahi. Row 5 on the inside, Jason Fish on the outside, Brian Rye. Donald Kane inside of row number 6, Craig Persley on the outside. We'll get the rest of the lineup for you because we are ready to go. Here we go, 24 strong, 40 laps to go. Green flag, we're racing. Off they go down into corner number 1, Dalton Faulkner right there. Here's Steve Grants. Oh, bumper tag all the way back there. Second place car is Steve Grants. Alan Torres hanging on. Memphis Villarreal down at the bottom of the racetrack. Cameron Starry right behind him. Up the track goes a 5 of Jeff Hammond. Outside pole sitter in trouble. Dalton Faulkner up at the top of the racetrack. Steve Grants hanging on to the second spot. Hammond will go off the racetrack. Hammond on the back straightaway. Well, no, trying to get to the back straightaway. Caution flag comes out, so Jeff Hammond, tough luck for the outside pole sitter as he has problems on lap number 1. Rest of the pack, row number 6 out of Willis, Donald Kane on the outside, New Waverly, Craig Persley Jr. Row 7 on the inside, Josh Sewell out of Kingsville, Dylan Nolasco out of Huffman on the outside of row number 7. Row 8 on the inside out of Kerrville, Cameron Dinsmore on the outside out of Buda, it's Rusty Head. Row 9 on the inside out of Corpus Christi, Triton Temple on the outside. It is Thomas Downey. Row 10 on the inside out of Eider. In the 1H, Jared Herring on the outside out of Edna. It is GW Hessong. Row 11 down on the inside out of Pearland, the 44D of Jason Downey. On the outside, the 11X of Dylan Gaither. Daniel Preston, Stephen Danielson. That is your starting lineup. So, track safety crew for the wreck over at turn number 2. Red flag condition right there. Car upside down as all the action was over at turn 3 with Hammett. All of this happening at the back. On the backside coming out of corner number 2. Here's the car rolling, being rolled over. And the car now back on all fours, so all of the word from race control, driver is okay. Driver is okay over at turn number 2. Kind of one that got away from us. Everybody, all the attention focused on Hammett over at turn number 3, and this action at turn 2. So that is the Cameron Dinsmore car over at turn number 2. Rolled back over on all fours. Did get a lap in on the whole shot there. It was Dalton Faulkner in the 27. F, of course, your fast time starting up at the front of the pack. Nice start right there for Steve Grants in the 21G as he had vaulted his way up into the second spot. Alan Torres in the 94. Memphis Villarreal working down at the bottom of the racetrack, car number 30. And Cameron Starry in the 741. However, still 39 laps remaining as the track safety crew working over on the Dinsmore car over at turn number 2. But of course, most importantly, speaking to the integrity of these race cars, driver okay, that is the most important part of this whole scenario happening right now. So there you see the Dinsmore car going into the infield. Field sitting for the most part right here on the front straightaway. $5,000 on the line here tonight for your factory stocks at the 2021 Clash. What a way to end the season for Owen Pittman here in the staff at Texana Raceway Park. This is your hometown racetrack right here, friends. This is, when you talk about a hometown racetrack, this is what you have right here. Texana Raceway Park, one of the best in the state. All right, field off and rolling here once again as we get set to try it again. Dalton Faulkner, car number 27, as he set the fast time here on Thursday evening. And it looks like here comes Jeff Hammett. Looks like he will make his way back into the race. So Hammett sitting right there at the exit, so he's going to rejoin the event. Hopefully, a tough luck right there for Hammett as he started on the outside of row number 2. And he had the problem over between turns 3 and 4. But it will be Faulkner that's going to bring him back to green as soon as we get set to go. A little bit of fluid over at turn number 2, so the track safety crew running the race cars through that, try to get that stuff down into the surface. Want to keep it just as nice and smooth as possible. So it's going to be interesting to watch. And the reason for this, a little odd if you're wondering why are the factory stocks running first. It was a great decision by Owen Pittman and the staff here at Texana Raceway Park. They said when this track begins to go dry, the factory stocks end up racing down at the bottom of the racetrack. You get a lot of bumper tag, you get stuff tore up. We saw it last year here in the 2020 Clash. Owen and the staff electing to run this as the first race while we still have multiple grooves on the racetrack now. So that's going to allow us 2 and 3 wide racing, and I think that is a great move to have these big old heavy stock cars out on the racetrack first. You'll have the modifieds, the limited modifieds, and the late models. Obviously those cars a lot lighter. They'll be back on the track here, but a great move to run these factory stocks here first this evening. Big hello to all of our friends checking in on Race On Texas as you check in on Speed Zone, wherever you may be around the country or around the world. Welcome to Flag City, USA, the 2021 Clash happening right here at Texana Raceway Park. Glad that you are able to stream it live and worldwide with us on Race On Texas. And don't forget, for everyone on Race On Texas and everyone right here at the racetrack, coming up December 8th, 9th, and 10th, you will have the Jerry Whitaker Memorial happening at South Texas Speedway. That'll be available as well on Race On Texas. So if you're not readily close to the Corpus Christi coastal area right here of South Texas, you can check it out on Speed Pass. That is coming up December 8th, 9th, and 10th from South Texas Speedway. It is a Jerry Whitaker Memorial. Showing them one right here, race fans. Showing them one right here as we get set to go. 39 laps to go for $5,000. Up at the front of the pack for your Texas two-step restart, it is Dalton Faulkner in car number 27F. Right behind him, Steve Granz is right there in the 21G. Alan Torres up on the top side, Cameron Starry, and Memphis Villarreal. That is your top 5. Here we go, 39 laps to go. Let's make a little bit of noise for these cars as they get ready to come by. Here we go, it's race time at Texana Raceway Park. Turn number 1, off they go, Faulkner holding court. Here comes Grants down on the bottom. Alan Torres up on the top side. Cameron Starry, look at Memphis Villarreal trying to slice like a trying to be the meat of the sandwich right there out of corner number 2. Rahi up on the top side. You've got Rye down on the bottom. Alasko on the top side. Another lap in the books right there. And it is Dalton Faulkner taking the field down into turn number 1. Here comes Steve Grant's working down on the bottom. Alan Torres right there. Side by side off to the back straightaway they go. It is now Memphis Villarreal free and clear in 4th. Here comes Rye down to the bottom. Starry, Rahi right back behind him. It's getting racy. They're 5 wide coming out of the corner. Here we go. Down into turn number 1. All in pursuit of Dalton Faulkner. Faulkner holding on. Steve Grants, Alan Torres, Rahi working down at the bottom. Villarreal holding on. Cameron Starry is right there. Here is Rye. Oh my goodness. Too close for comfort right there. Greg Persley, Dylan Alasco as they run right there behind him. Down the front straightaway they go once again. Down into corner number 1. It's Faulkner, Grants, Torres, Villarreal, Starry, your top 5. Rye, Rahi, Persley, Alasco, and Mickey Helms rounding out your top 10. Faulkner still up at the front of the pack. He leads by 4 car lengths out of turn number 4. But look at this gaggle of race cars that you check in on Speed Pass. The action happening right behind him. Villarreal is there, right down in the middle. Here's Persley. Cameron Starry slices down to the bottom of the racetrack. Starry trying now get back in line. He'll run right behind the back bumper of Villarreal. Up on the top side, you got Alasco working down at the bottom. It's Craig Persley. Persley working at the bottom of the racetrack. That's Dylan Alasco up on the top side. That is your battle for the 8th spot. Onto the back straightaway they go. A little bit of contact right there. Persley gets a bumper shot from Alasco. Now they go single file as they calm it down early on in this race. 7 laps complete that time by. Dalton Faulkner up at the front of the pack, continuing to be chased by Steve Grants in the 21G. As you check out the split screen on Race On Texas, you've got the action happening up at the front of the pack. And now you're up on the drone as they race down the back straightaway. What a shot right there as they race into turn number 3. That drone shot out of corner number 4. Split screen here on Race On Texas. Leader is Dalton Faulkner continuing to hold on, but the action is happening up behind him as Alan Torres holding on to the 3rd spot, followed by Villarreal, the 741 of Cameron Starry. Rye is there. Here comes Persley, but now Persley's got company right there from Alasco. Alasco going down to the bottom of the racetrack. Now they'll get back in line, and they'll stay single file, going down into corner number 1. Groups of cars all around the racetrack, and the man on the move right now is car number 55, Rusty Head, out of Buda, winner a couple of weeks back out of 937. He's won at Cotton Bowl Speedway this year. The veteran driver, Rusty Head, is lurking as he now races in the 10th spot. Rusty Head, all the way up from deeper in the pack, has now made his way into the top 10, and he'll go to the outside of Rahi. Your leader's coming out of corner number 4. Alasco continuing to hold on as Faulkner continuing to hold on as they make their way out of corner number 2. Steve Grants riding in the 2nd spot as Grants sits 2.122 seconds behind the leader of Dalton Faulkner. Action happening further back in the pack. You've got him racing onto the back straightaway. Joshua Sewell trying to hold on. 32 car down on the inside, and it is just so massive back there as you've got 24 cars now make that 22 as Triton Temple off the racetrack with car number 99 down in the infield. So attrition not near as bad as we thought it might have been. Dinsmore is off the track. Triton Temple is off the track. Trouble, Alan Torres out of corner number 4. Alan Torres in the 94 car as he was running well within the top 10. Something amiss on the 94, and the caution flag will come out. Caution flag on the racetrack. Lap number 13. As we had a nice 12-lap run happening right there. Dalton Faulkner stretching this out to about a 2.5 second advantage, but now the caution flag waves. And it looks like we will have our 3rd car out of the race, and it's Alan Torres. Torres had been up well within the top 6 at the 94 car off of the racetrack as he sits down in the infield. So something goes away on the 94. Tough luck right there, but Dalton Faulkner stretching this thing out as Steve Grants methodically working behind him, staying within 2.5 seconds. Memphis Villarreal right there, Cameron Starry, and then Rye riding in the 5th spot. But as I said, take a look a little bit further back right there, that veteran out of Buda, Texas. It is Rusty Head making his way up. Rusty Head starting on the outside of row number 8. But as they run right now, it is Rusty Head sitting in the 10th spot. Let's take a look at your top 10. It's Dalton Faulkner up on the point. Steve Grant's behind him. Memphis Virial. Cameron Starry runs 4th. Brian Rye is your 5th place car. 6th place on back, it'll be Craig Persley, followed by Dylan Elasco, Donald Kane, Rusty Head now in 9th, and Nathan Rahi. The 94 car of Alan Torres was sitting in the 6th spot when he went off of the racetrack. So we'll set up a Texas two-step restart coming up as we quickly have realigned the field. Dalton Faulkner out on the point, 13 laps complete out of 40. Here at Texana Raceway Park, this is the 2021 Clash as we are live right here at the racetrack and on Race On Texas on Speed Pass. Hope you're enjoying this. It's a great night for racing. That wind has actually died down a little bit for us here at the racetrack, so this is actually keeping it a multiple groove racetrack. And we continue to see cars moving all around the racetrack here this evening. And we're working towards that halfway point. Remember, this is 40 laps. 40 laps of action here tonight. Showing them one as they make their way by. Showing them one right there. Looks like the Alan Torres car may actually try to get back into the fray right there as he's got a little shove. But we showed him one right there. Lights are going off around the racetrack. It's Dalton Faulkner up on the point in car number 27. They are stacked up behind him as we get ready to go. 13 laps complete out of 40. Here in your factory stock main event here at the 2021 Clash at Texana Raceway Park. Green flag in the air. We're racing. Into turn number 1, off they go. Faulkner, whole shot move, contact. Steve Granz got a shot from the backside. Granz goes up the racetrack. And he's sitting up at the top of turn number 2. And Granz will limp his way around. Virial sitting in the 2nd spot. Here comes Cameron Starry. Rye going down to the inside. Look at this battle coming out of the corner. You got 4 wide happening. What a battle as they race their way. As Steve Granz off of the racetrack. Now Memphis Virial is right there in car number 30, trying to get to the back bumper. You got him stacked 3 wide down into the corner. Rusty Head at the bottom of the racetrack. Nathan Rahi up above him. Onto the front stretch they come. Elasco now sitting in position number 6. As down to the inside. Here's Mickey Helms. Here they go down into the corner. Top 4 cars flashing by the start-finish line. Faulkner, Virial, Starry, the 154 of Rye. That is how they run, followed by Donald Kane. Donald Kane now into the 5th spot. Here's Dylan Elasco right behind him. Craig Persley, Rahi, the 44 of Downey. Rusty Head is there. Here they come around up the track. Trouble, Dylan Elasco. Elasco off the point. He'll go to the top of the racetrack. Lap number 17. Almost to the halfway point here in your factory stock race. Back straight away they go. It continues to be the 27 of Faulkner. Here's Elasco down to the inside. Another top 10 contender falls by the wayside as he goes down to the infield. 27 car holding on. Now the race battling, or really starting to shape up for the 2nd spot as a 30 car of Memphis Virial holding that spot. The 741 of Cameron Starry. Mickey Rye in the 154, or Brian Rye in the 154. Donald Kane rounding out the top 6. Those cars trying to get away from the pack. Rahi runs in the 6th spot, followed by Persley. Up to the top side goes Downey. Joshua Sewell, the 55 of Rusty Head. And running behind him is Helms in the 174, followed by G.W. Hessong and Jason Downey. Leaders making their way out of corner number 4. This time by, we are halfway home. Halfway home right here in this factory stock main event. 20 laps down, 20 to go. $5,000 on the line here at the 2021 Clash. Battle for 3rd, down to the inside, side by side. Cameron Starry up on the top side. The 154 car trying to work up on the outside. That is Brian Rye. That's a battle for the 3rd spot. Past the start-finish line once again. It is Rye now sitting in the 3rd spot as he chases Memphis Virial. Virial trying to trim that edge on Dalton Faulkner. Faulkner leads by just over 1.5 seconds as he makes his way out of turn number 4 past the halfway point. here in the factory stock main event. Battling out of corner number 4. Rye in the 154. Cameron Starry, Donald Kane, Rahi right there, followed by Downey, Greg Persley, Sewell, Rusty Head down on the inside, and racing to the outside of Rusty Head is Helms in the 174. Back straightaway they go, continuing to swap positions behind the top 5 cars as this battle wages on behind him. Rusty Head down on the bottom. Up on the top side is Mickey Helms. GW Hessong up on the top side. Here's Downey in the 44. Alan Torres is there. The 6-inch sitting up on the top side of Daniel Preston. That is a battle as we watch the leaders continue to motor out away from the pack. The action is happening behind them just outside the top 10 as you check in on Speed Pass. These cars with Gaither rounding out that pack as they continue to go 2 and 3 wide here around Texana Raceway Park. Faulkner holding on at the front. He's now extended that advantage out to a 2.662 second lead. Over 2.5 seconds is a lead for Dalton Faulkner as you check out the split screen once again on Race on Texas. On your left side, you got the battle happening right here along the front stretch in the corner number 1 as they go 3 wide. Rusty Head down through the middle as he brings a 44 Downey with him. Over on your right side, you see the other side of the racetrack. You've got the drone footage right there as they race through the corner. The pack continues to race bumper to bumper. What a pace they are setting right here. 26 laps complete, but Faulkner is the man in charge as he just continues to check off the laps. However, as we race with 13 laps to go, Faulkner's next challenge is going to be catching the back of the pack, and it very well may be as you watch Faulkner starting to trail behind all of these battles that we're watching. Faulkner may have to maneuver around this traffic. That's going to be something that we'll continue to watch as we have 12 laps remaining here in this 40-lap main event here at Texana Raceway Park. Faulkner racing out of corner number 2. He is now on the same straightaway with this gaggle of cars that you're watching right now. Joshua Sewell, Mickey Helms, GW Hessong, Downey, Rusty Head, Daniel Preston, Alan Torres, Gaither. And now here comes Dalton Faulkner. He's got Danielson riding right in front of him. He's got the 9 of Johnny Westfall. So now to be Faulkner right there. These guys are racing 4 positions. Up to the top is Danielson. Johnny Westfall down at the bottom of the racetrack. Faulkner on the edge of the corner number 4. And now Faulkner will pull up to the back of these cars with 10 laps to go. 10 laps to go, that time by. On to the back straightaway they go. Side-by-side battle happening up in front of your leader is Johnny Westfall and Danielson in the 149. Here comes the 27, Dalton Faulkner. As all this happens, the battle happening for the second spot, Memphis Villarreal and Brian Rye, as they are now nose to tail, diving into corner number 1. Back straightaway they go. The lead for Faulkner, 4.480 seconds. So he has a cushion as he works to the outside of Johnny Westfall, working right at the middle of the racetrack. He's going to have to watch every move right here. Going to have to be careful, maneuver around all of these cars as you watch a battle, 3 wide battle happening out of turn number 2. The 44 of Downey, GW Hessong, Alan Torres, Daniel Preston, Rusty Head, and running about, I'll call it 25 car lengths behind him, is your race leader, Dalton Faulkner. It'll be 7 laps to go this time by. 7 laps to go as they race down into turn number 2. Trouble, turn number 1. You got a spinner over in turn number 1, so here we go. It was 4.296 seconds. 4.296 seconds was the advantage the last time by for Dalton Faulkner over the second place car of Memphis Villarreal and Brian Rye. Working his way through traffic with 8 laps to go, but here is the caution flag. Here is the game changer right here. Yellow flag comes out and we're gonna re-rack them, we're gonna restack them, and this is a brand new race right here, friends. We are about to watch an 8-lap shootout for $5,000. $5,000 on the line, 8 laps remaining. Dalton Faulkner, can anybody make a pass on the 27 car? as he was working through traffic, just slicing and dicing, continuing to open up that advantage. It was about 0.2 of a second each lap that he was putting on Villarreal and Rye. But now with that caution flag coming out, we got a Texas two-step restart coming up. It's Faulkner. Inside of row number 2 is Villarreal. On the outside is Rye. Next row down on the inside in the 24. It is Donald Kane on the outside, Cameron Starry. Rahi is there. Daniel Preston up on the outside. Craig Persley down on the inside. Lights are off around the racetrack. Here we go. 8 laps to settle it. $5,000 on the line. 2021 Clash. Green flag. Off they go down into the corner. A little bit of contact right there. Downey able to hold on. Nice job right there. They go to the bottom of the racetrack as now they bottom feed down around the bottom, but it's still Faulkner working up at the top. Here's Rye going up to the top. Brian Rye's going to try the top side. Villarreal throws a block, but it's Faulkner once again, already out to a 3-car length advantage as they race 3 wide down the front straightaway. Down into the corner they go. Villarreal up to the top part of the racetrack. Donald Kane Jr. rides in the 4th spot. Nathan Rahi rides in the 5th spot. Craig Persley and G.W. Hessong side-by-side battle right behind them. Alan Torres, 741 of Cameron Starry up on the top side. Past the start-finish line. That is lap number 34. 34 down. Next time by, it'll be 5 to go. Can anybody slay the giant? Up at the front of the pack, Dalton Faulkner holding on to the advantage. That last time by, almost a second. 0.8 of a second. Here we go. 5 to go this time by. 5 laps to go for your race leader, Dalton Faulkner. Faulkner right there. Here's Villarreal trying to run right behind him. Brian Ryan, the 154, is going to go down to the bottom of the racetrack, tries to cut it down to the bottom, but Villarreal able to hold on. It is Faulkner holding on once again. Donald Kane down at the bottom of the racetrack. Craig Persley in the 24 car. Donald Kane right behind him is Craig Persley in the 3F. Here's Rahi going down to the bottom of the racetrack. Right behind him, G.W. Hessong into corner number 3. Your race leader this time by. Lap number 37. 3 laps to go for Dalton Faulkner in car number 27 as he checks off another lap. Villarreal holding on to the 2nd spot. Rye holding on to 3rd, followed by Donald Kane and a nice top 5 battle. Caution. 3 cars tangled up out of turn number 4. Looks like you got the car of Gaither involved along with Daniel Preston and 1 more car up at the top right there. So a 3-car melee coming out of corner number 4. And that will bring us a caution flag with 3 laps remaining. 3 laps remaining, friends. You know what that means? We're going to have us a little bit of green, white, checkered coming up right here for $5,000 here in your factory stocks. Looks like that was a car also of Helms. Helms involved over there as well. So it looks like you got some front end damage. You got some rear tail damage to the car of Helms. Looks like some front end damage to the car of Gaither. And Daniel Preston sitting in the middle of the racetrack right there. And I think we got some hurt feelings down there as you've got some extra donuts. Driver out of the car right here. Here comes a little discussion coming up. That's how you slow a man's progress right there. Go park a big old wrecker and impede his path. That will slow him down each and every time. I know every time I see a truck in my way, I slow down. So we'll get everything untangled over there with 37 laps down and 3 to go here in this factory stock main event here at the 2021 Clash. It has been Dalton Faulkner. On that last restart, just another surge as he had a 2.5 second advantage by the time he made his way down into corner number 1. And there goes the car of Helms off of the racetrack. Plenty of racing to go here tonight at the Clash. You got your modified A main event coming up, your super late model A main, and then your limited modifieds will round it out here tonight. But this is the one that they've been talking about for several weeks with $5,000 on the line and factory stocks pulling from all around Texas and beyond to come run here tonight at Texana. So it looks like one car left down there, the 6-inch of Daniel Preston. So that is the one car to still get off of the racetrack, and we'll resume the action. As we race with 3 laps remaining, can Dalton Faulkner hold on? All about timing this restart. What does Villarreal do? What does Rye do? Donald Kane sitting right there. He's made his way up to the 4th spot. Persley with a nice run in the 3F. All right, track clear over turn number 4 as they push the 6-inch down into corner number 3. It looks like everything is free and clear over there. And we're going to get set to race this one out. Is that going to be the final caution? We're about to find out. As we get them in line and we show them one. Showing them one this time by. $5K on the line right here, race fans. Here we go. This is what it's all about. Dalton Faulkner on the point for the Texas 2-step restart. Villarreal on the inside. On the outside, it's Rye. Next row is Kane down on the inside. On the outside, it's Persley. 3 laps to go. The big money race happening right here tonight. Here we go down into the corner. Lights are out. We are set to go. Green flag is ready to be displayed. Green flag. We're racing once again. Down into turn 1 they go. Another great start. Look at Villarreal down on the bottom. Villarreal with a nice jump. And here they go to the backstretch. Up to the top side. Dalton Faulkner. Too much drive off of the corner. This time by, it'll be 2 laps to go. Villarreal's going to punish that car down at the bottom of the racetrack. He goes way up high. Villarreal trying to make a push. Villarreal lays back just a little bit that time as they have 2 laps to go. Here's Donald Kane down on the bottom of the racetrack. Dalton Faulkner onto the back straightaway. He now races with a 3.5 car length advantage, racing into turn number 3. Faulkner right there. Here comes Villarreal. Donald Kane working on the bottom. White flag one more time around for Dalton Faulkner. Villarreal holding on to the 2nd spot. Brian Rye right behind him. Here's a 24. Donald Kane going down to the inside. Villarreal up the track. Something to miss on the 30. Here's Rye going down to the bottom. Donald Kane down to the bottom. It will be checkered flag coming out. $5,000. Dalton Faulkner as we got a melee at turn number 4. We got cars turned around. You've got the 30 car of Villarreal, the 94 of Alan Torres. You got a melee back there. Joshua Sewell involved. As they run across the line, it's Faulkner, Brian Rye, Donald Kane, Nathan Rahe, and Craig Persley rounding out your top 5. What a finish right there at the end of the race as they get together coming out of corner number 4. When it's all said and done, they were chasing this guy all night long. Car number 27, Dalton Faulkner. This is a guy in the factory stocks. You know when he's around that he's going to be the one that they're chasing. And he'll get ready to jump out of the car. There he is, Dalton Faulkner, your winner here tonight at Texana Raceway Park. Making his way around. I mean, what a weekend for you, man. You set the fast time. I mean, walk us through that race. What I want to ask you about, when you're working through the traffic, I mean, you have to be watching way ahead of you.
Yeah, my first thought was look for somebody to give me a signal, see how far I'm out. I could see that we got a scoreboard here. I couldn't tell who was behind me. The only time you can tell is entering the corners, and that's the most time a car will catch you. But luckily, I had a couple people help me out, and we had cautions to save us. Man, the track was phenomenal. The drivers, everybody, Memphis, he drove I've seen him sneak his door or his nose down there quite a few times. I appreciate the clean racing and all that.
So walk us through your race. I mean, you take off. I mean, you were nailing every restart. It seemed like every restart, you time it, and you'd had 2.5 car lengths on them. I mean, talk about your car, man. This thing looked like it would run anywhere you put it.
Yeah, that's a big thanks to Mr. Knowles. man, I couldn't do this without him. I race every weekend. I don't give it no break. I don't give nobody get a heads up on me. I work my butt off, my ass off, whatever you want to call it. Apologize, but I'm out of breath.
No doubt. How cool is it? I mean, you come to Edna, man, you chase these big races. I mean, but to come here, you see 51 factory stocks here for Owen, and the track was great. It just seemed like a really good weekend.
I feel like I race that many cars every weekend. I enjoy racing that many cars. I don't like coming out racing 12 cars. I'm sure the fans don't like seeing that either. I gotta appreciate them all coming out, race on Texas, everybody at home watching. I don't remember what else you asked me.
It's all good. It's all good. There he is. Dalton Faulkner is your winner. $5,000 as he wins here tonight.
That's too many interviews this weekend. I'm out of stuff to say.
It's all good, man. It's all good. All right, second place. Nice run right here. Nice and steady. Put your hands together. Brian Rye comes home in the second spot tonight. Brian, let's talk about your race, man. There was so much happening out on the racetrack, and you were just picking and choosing your lines. Just seemed like a really smart race.
Yeah, I was just trying to stay clean. I was behind Cameron Starry for a while. I didn't want to rough him up. You know, I was just trying to stay clean. And I've watched this class a lot, and they like to wreck each other a lot, and I didn't want to drive like that. So I just tried to race everyone as clean as I could.
Talk about the folks putting you out on the racetrack here this weekend.
I really need to thank Travis Penny. This is his car. Bruce Sanders with Ace Automotive Machine. He supplies the engine for this car. SPG Racing, Mark Burns, Chris Rye, all my nephews. Of course, my wife and my kids at home watching on Race on Texas. My in-laws, too, should be watching. Yep. Thanks, everyone.
Absolutely. Brian Rye comes home second tonight here at Texana Raceway Park in your factory stocks. Moving over, final podium spot right here. Donald Kane in car number 24. And I'll tell you, man, as well, talking to him, watching you throughout the race, man, to pick and choose yourself, man, you had a hell of a drive out there.
Yeah, I just had to find where the car hooked up every lap, try to find them better. But I like to thank John. He gives me a ride every weekend. I can't thank him enough. And everybody else that helps on the car. And all y'all, all you fans, thank you.
What'd you think of the racetrack tonight? I like the idea that you guys ran first because with these cars you were able to move around. I know last year everybody was bottom feeding, and you guys you had a lot of room out there.
Oh yeah, the track was pretty good. The bottom, I kept trying to work it and hope somebody back there was trying to follow me because it was a little greasy still, but you know, I just had to pick it.
Absolutely. Donald Kane, third place tonight in your factory stocks. There they are. 1, 2, 3. It's Kane, Rye, Dalton Faulkner, your winner here tonight at Texana Raceway Park, the Class 2021. All right, race fans, coming up, it will be your A-main for your modifieds. That is up next right here at Texana Raceway Park 2021 Clash. Let's take you through your 25-lap feature race lineup. On the point, car number 77 out of Plantersville, it'll be Garrett Gregory. Gregory in the 77. On the outside, out of Robstown, car number 89, Stevie Whitaker Jr. Row 2 on the inside, out of Sinton, car number 12, Cody Leonard on the outside in the AG out of Kerrville, Greg Dinsmore. Inside of row number 3 in the BD1, out of Corpus Christi, Marcus Mikulacek on the outside, out of Buda in the 48R, Raymond McSpadden. Row 4 on the inside, out of Copperly. In the 7G, it's David Good Jr. On the outside, out of Marshall, car number 91, Craig Oaks. Row 5 on the inside, out of New Caney in the 1K, Dalton Knox. On the outside, out of New Waverly. In the 49, it's Rob Slott. Row 6 on the inside, out of Weslaco. Car number 96, Jared Moppin. On the outside, out of New Caney, Jeff Ho in the 14T. Row 7 on the inside, car number 82C. Out of Spring Branch, Texas, it is Chris Carroll. On the outside, the 741 out of Robstown, Cameron Starry. Row 8 on the inside, out of Stockdale in the 44X, Brandon Welker. On the outside, out of San Antonio, the 22M of Anthony Gordon. Row 9 on the inside, out of Pass Christian in the 4S, Nick Cellular. On the outside, in car number 2, out of Beach City, it's Chad Rockefeller. Rounding out the pack, row number 10, inside, the 96E out of Lake Jackson, it is Foster Ellison. And on the outside, starting in the final position in the 22L out of Schertz, it's Robert Lease. 25 laps for your modifieds as we get set to go. $1,000 on the line. IMCA modified action here at the 2021 Clash at Texana Raceway Park. Field working in line. We're going to show them one this time by. Showing them one this time by. How about this field of modifieds right here? I got to tell you, friends, I love it when you got a lot of big mods, and we have them right here tonight at Texana Raceway Park. We are locked and loaded and ready to go. Garrett Gregory on the point, Stevie Whitaker on the outside as we get set for 25 laps of action here at the 2021 Clash. Lights are out around the racetrack. Into corner number 3 they go. We are about to drop the hammer right now. Green flag. Up on the top side, Whitaker dives it down into turn number 1. Garrett Gregory working down at the bottom, but here comes the 12. Cody Leonard onto the back straightaway they go, side by side. You got the top 3 rows still running in unison as they dive down into the corner. McSpadden now settles into the 5th spot. David Good Jr. is right there. Side-by-side battle. Greg Dinsmore up on the top side. Cody Leonard working on the bottom, but your leaders are side-by-side up to the top of the racetrack. Here goes Stevie Whitaker. Whitaker on the top side. Garrett Gregory down at the bottom. Past the packed grandstands here at Texana Raceway Park. Off they go down into the corner, and it is Whitaker holding the advantage over Garrett Gregory. As you check in on Speed Pass, our drone footage once again, you are high above Texana Raceway Park as the modifieds race here in this 25-lap main event. Great coverage, great footage as the drone rides right above the pack as they make their way here around the racetrack, down into corner number 1, out of corner number 2. Stevie Whitaker is your leader, trying to hold on to the 3rd spot. You got Dinsmore up on the top side. Here's Cody Leonard. Leonard bounces up to the top of the racetrack. Battle happening behind him. Raymond McSpadden holding on to the 5th spot, followed by the 7 of David Good. David Good, Dalton Knox, Craig Oakes, and Rob Slott. That is how they run onto the back straightaway. Hot spot on the racetrack right now is back for that 5th spot. Here's David Good Jr. down to the bottom of the racetrack. McSpadden slices it out of corner number 4, and they race side by side down into turn number 1. David Good Jr. trying to hang on. McSpadden has that left front wheel up in the air, but he will relinquish that spot to Good, but he's trying to come back at him. Here is Good working down at the bottom. McSpadden now gets in line behind him. Here comes the 91 of Craig Oakes. Dalton Knox. Rob Slott is right there as well. Still up at the front of the pack. Your leaders starting to gather back in as they work. 1 lap car in front of them. That's Cellular. But here comes Whitaker, leading Garrett Gregory down into turn number 1. Garrett Gregory down to the bottom of the racetrack. Gregory's going to try to find the drive off of corner number 2, but he won't make it happen right there. Settling back in behind him. You got 2.5 car lengths behind him. Side-by-side battle once again happening back there with McSpadden, Craig Oakes, Dalton Knox, and Rob Slott. That battle right outside the top 5 as they chase David Good Jr. Leaders working on the back straightaway. And now it is still Whitaker holding on, but Garrett Gregory trying to follow right in his tracks as they work up on the top shelf here at Texana Raceway Park. What a racetrack we have here tonight. Working lap number 9. This is lap number 10. As now they begin to work into some of that lap traffic. Here's Whitaker. Whitaker's going to begin to go down to the inside right there as he's got Robert Lease right in front of him. Whitaker will go up to the top side, free and clear by the 77 car. Garrett Gregory in this other 77 car holding on to that second spot. Battle shaping up once again. Your battle for the 5th position. Raymond McSpadden going down to the inside. The 7 car of David Goode Jr. trying to hold on to that spot as they chase Dinsmore along with Cody Leonard running in the 3rd spot. But you've got 4 cars, throw a blanket over them right here. The 48, the 91, and side by side, Dalton Knox and the 49 car of Rob Slott. Off they go onto the back straightaway. Now they race down into the corner. Battle happening right now is the 89 car of Stevie Whitaker having to make his way through lap traffic, making his way down to the inside of Rockefeller, and now working on the top side. He'll have to take it way up to the top shelf to get around the 741 as we'll watch the 741 sitting on the top side. Here's Whitaker. Oh, close quarters right there. Whitaker back in line once again as Whitaker gathers it back in and works behind the 741, trying to make the pass right there. Whitaker, this is where a race can be lost in a matter of seconds as he's able to work his way through the pack. Remember, these guys don't have spotters. These guys don't have anybody telling them that they're coming. They're in communication with race control. Race control can talk to the drivers. Whitaker maintaining that pace. 10 laps to go that time by for your race leader in car number 89. Onto the back straightaway they go. Garrett Gregory holding on to the 2nd spot. Garrett Gregory sits 1.5 seconds back in car number 77. Your 3rd place car continues to be Cody Leonard, Greg Dinsmore, David Goode Jr. rounding out the top 5. Position 6 on back. It's Raymond McSpadden, Craig Oakes, Dalton Knox, Rob Slott, and Jeff Ho in the 14T, rounding out your top 10. But here's Whitaker working through the pack methodically once again as Whitaker down the front straightaway into corner number 1, and he will now begin to lap the 12th and 13th place cars. Anthony Gordon is your 13th place car. Caution flag, corner number 4. Looks like Cody Leonard. Around in car number 12. Leonard, your 3rd place car, in trouble over at turn number 4. So gathering it back in right there, Cody Leonard. So Stevie Whitaker running through the pack right there. He had come up to the 13th place car of Anthony Gordon, the 12th place car of Jared Moppin right in front of him. So those two will be spared going 1 lap down here from your race leader, car number 89, Stevie Whitaker. And we have 17 laps complete here out of 25 in your IMCA modified main event here at the 2021 Clash. Stevie Whitaker, class of the field, as he has been up at the front. Garrett Gregory sitting right there in the 2nd spot. Dinsmore rounding out the podium. How about that run right there for David Goode Jr. in car number 7. A nice run as well for the 48R Raymond McSpadden as he rides in the 5th spot as we run here under caution. Coming up next, race fans, it will be your super late models. Super late models out on the racetrack for their main event. All right, race fans, lights are out around the racetrack. We are set to go. Stevie Whitaker pacing the field through corner number 3. Green flag in the air. We're racing once again here at Texana Raceway Park. Whitaker on the gas down into corner number 1. Oh, around goes Gregory. We got a bottleneck. We got a big log jam over at turn number 1. 2nd place car, Gregory goes around and looks like Spin to avoid right there, the 7 car, David Good Jr. Raymond McSpadden involved in the melee right there as he comes to a stop. 82 car involved there as well, a Chris Carroll. And a tough break for your second place runner. That caution flag here on the restart was 17 laps remaining, and another great start right there for Whitaker. And we get set to roll here once again. .25 lap main event as they run. Gregory back up in that second spot, followed by David Good Jr. McSpadden, Craig Oakes up to the outside, Dalton Knox, Rob Slott. In car number 49, we get set. Jeff Ho there in the 14T. We're going to shut the lights off and try to finish this one out. 17 laps in the books. Here we go. We get set. Green flag. We're racing once again here at Texana Raceway Park. Up on the top side, Whitaker. He'll rim right in around the top of the racetrack. Garrett Gregory down at the bottom. Here's the 14. Look at Rob Slott. Rob Slott, 3 wide, and he vaults all the way up, side-by-side battle for the third spot. Running down at the bottom, it is the 7 car, David Good Jr., Rob Slott, shot out of a cannon. What a move right there. He now sits in the third spot. Raymond McSpadden down at the bottom of the racetrack. Craig Oakes, there's Carroll right behind him. The 12 of Cody Leonard trying to get back in the fray once again. This time by, it'll be lap number 19. 6 laps to go for your race leader, Stephen Whitaker. Over the 77 of Garrett Gregory. Rob Slott, who has now made his way up to the podium. David Good Jr. down at the bottom of the racetrack. Off they go down the back straightaway. 3 wide, Craig Oakes, Edward Oakes up on the top side. The 48R, Raymond McSpadden in the middle. Here comes Cody Leonard down at the bottom of the racetrack. That, my friends, right there is lap number 20. Lap number 20. That time by as we run. Craig Oakes sitting up on the top side, side by side. Cody Leonard. It's a drag race down into the corner. That is your battle for the 5th spot. Stephen Whitaker into turn number 1, continuing to pace the field. He now leads by 1.387 seconds as a caution flag comes out once again. Debris at turn number 4. Debris over at turn number 4 right in the racing groove. So the caution flag will come out at lap number 21. Lap number 21, our yellow flag. What a restart for Rob Slott. Rob Slott had a 3 wide situation happening back there just a couple of laps ago. He actually had 2 cars side by side running right in front of him. And a great job, Rob Slott, with just a power move off of corner number 2. And that 49 car goes right between those cars. And now he has himself sitting in the 3rd spot as they run right now with 4 laps to go here near IMCA modified main event. Showing them one right here, so quickly everyone back in line. It's Whitaker in the 89, followed by the 77 of Gregory, Rob Slott. Down to the inside, David Good on the outside, Cody Leonard in car number 12. Next row, Craig Oakes down on the inside, car number 91. Flanking him on the outside is Raymond McSpadden, Chris Carroll, mopping. Here we go. Dalton Knox, now we have a true Texas 2-step restart. We are set to go, 4 laps remaining here in the IMCA modified feature race. Here's Stephen Whitaker as he gets set to mash that gas. We are off and going. Green flag one more time here in the modified. Down to the bottom of the racetrack, Rob Slott way down at the bottom. He's going to try to bottom feed it right there. Back on the gas, Whitaker up the racetrack. It's Rob Slott as he has made his way up to the front of the pack. Here's Stephen Whitaker going to the top of the racetrack. David Good down at the bottom. Out of corner number 4, Whitaker side by side. Here we go. Turn number 1. That is lap number 22. 22 down. This is lap number 23. David Good Jr. down at the bottom of the racetrack. Stephen Whitaker right there in the 89. They race side by side. Rob Slott up at the top. Whitaker, Garrett Gregory right there. David Good slides up in front of Whitaker. They make their way down. 2 sticks in the air. 2 more laps to go. Rob Slott, Garrett Gregory, contact with Whitaker. Onto the back straightaway they go. Can they mount a charge right here? $1,000 on the line for the modifieds. Garrett Gregory down at the bottom. Rob Slott up at the top side. White flag one more time around. Here's Rob Slott. Whitaker on the top side. Let's watch the push. Gregory down at the bottom. Craig Oakes, Cody Leonard, David Good Jr. Back straightaway they go. 3 car lengths down into the corner. Rob Slott, Whitaker on the top side. Gregory's going to try the bottom. Robert Lease in front of him. Out of turn 4. Checkered flag. Rob Slott out of nowhere wins it over Stephen Whitaker, Garrett Gregory, David Good Jr., and the 91 of Craig Oakes. What a drive. What a drive. It is Rob Slott with just an amazing drive on the last 2 restarts. Nails the last 2 restarts. Manages to get to the top 3. And then on the final restart with a huge pass. And parks it in victory lane here at Texana Raceway Park here in the 2021 Clash. Slott in the 49. Sitting right around the 5th spot most of that race, and then on the 2 restarts, he makes a couple of moves. Unheard of. Tremendous moves. And here he is in victory lane, getting ready to jump out of that car. This is the man tonight. It is Rob Slott in car number 49. What a drive to win here tonight at Texana Raceway Park. My man, dude, those 2 restarts, man. We'll go through the first one. You got those guys side by side, man. It is like a thread of a needle, man. Talk about that one.
Yeah, so I didn't have a very good heat race there, and that kind of stuck us pretty far back, and I was kind of just hung up there the first half and just begging for a caution, you know, side-by-side racing. Caution came out, and I was like, man, this car always takes off good, and just able to kind of thread the needle there. And then on that last restart, I was not expecting them to – I mean, it took off on the bottom, and the groove's been on the top the whole night, so –
Yeah, no doubt about it, man. So I mean, what'd you think when you got to turn 1? I mean, you get to turn 1 and you're sitting there, and I see you. I like the move that you made. These guys are washing up, and you put it down at the bottom of the racetrack, pointed it, and you put yourself. You got a good whole shot lead over them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So that's literally the only chance I had, other than trying to throw like a dirty slider on Stevie up there, but I don't want to do that. But honestly, I need to thank my little brother Ryan for letting me drive his car tonight. So he had a wedding to go to, and he was like, "Hey man, why don't you go run that race down there?" So we worked on it all day today, and I loaded up. I'm here by myself. I don't even have anybody helping me pit, and man, this is really nice. So.
Talk about all the folks that get you guys out on the racetrack.
Oh yeah, for sure. If it wasn't for my dad, Slots Machine, a family business, we wouldn't be out here at all. Luckily, the oil field's on its way back up, so hopefully we can do a lot more racing next year than we were able to this year. B&R Productions. First Class Septic, Mark and Sandra Erb, they help out a lot. Rage Chassis, and the track for putting this race on, and all the fans for coming out and watching us tonight.
Absolutely. Rob Slott in dramatic fashion wins it here tonight in your IMCA Modifieds here at the 2021 Clash. Coming up next, race fans, it will be your super late models out on the track, followed by your limited modifieds as we wind down the 2021 Clash here at Texana Raceway Park. Work of art right there from Slot on those final 2 restarts as he walks us through it. Just a great job nailing each one of those right there. Some massive moves right there. And that last one, just some great driving. As Slot wins it here in the modifieds tonight, he takes home that $1,000 purse here at the 2021 Clash. Super late models making their way out, as they will run 25 laps. 25 lap feature race coming up for your late models. Onto the racetrack. Here they are, super sleek and super fast. Love having the late models here on the bill tonight. Late models racing for $1,500 to the winner tonight. Starting lineup as they will go to the line tonight on the pole. Car number 89, jumping right out of one into the other, the 89. Out of Robstown is Stephen Whitaker on the outside. Car number 260 out of Baytown is Robert Thorne. Row 2 on the inside out of Baytown, Kevin Sitton aboard car number 1 on the outside. In the 407D, it'll be Neil Manchester out of Magnolia. Row 3 on the inside, little Robbie Starnes out of Baytown in the 25S. On the outside, car number 15, Brian Stipe. Row 4 on the inside, the 10-4 of Brandon Brzezowski out of Lavernia. On the outside, out of Brenham in the 7D, it's Austin Thies. Row 5 on the inside, Eddie Hardage out of Victoria. On the outside, Ray Allen Kahalnik out of Danbury. Row 6 on the inside, out of Schertz, Barry Quaid. On the outside, Cody Leonard out of Sinton. Row 7 on the inside, out of Farmersville, Bryce Jackson. On the inside, out of Ider, it's Tracy Denby Sr. Row 8 on the inside, out of Floresville, Ryan McDonald. On the outside, out of Sandia, it's Cody Hardage. Row 9 on the inside, out of Victoria, Rory Jordan. On the outside, out of Lavernia, Jason Kelly. Row 10 on the inside, car number 29 out of Lavernia, Jamie Campbell. On the outside, the 53X out of Kerrville, that's Matt Fox. Rounding out the pack in car number 88 out of Sandia, that's Bobby Jack. 11 rows of cars for 25 laps here in your late model main event. They're all locked and loaded and ready to go. Everybody out on the racetrack here for 25 laps of action. Here they come making their way around. They are double stacked. 25 laps right here. These super late models, what a show they're going to put on right here. And I'll tell you what, after those 2 feature races that we have witnessed here tonight, this and your limited modifieds to round it out, tremendous night of action. Lights are out around the racetrack. We're ready to go. It's Whitaker up on the point. On the outside, it is Eric Thorne out of Baytown. Here we go, 25 laps to go, green and going. Whitaker, massive hole shot down into the corner. Stevie Whitaker will drag the field out of corner number 2, but he's got some company down on the inside. Kevin sitting down on the bottom, side by side, followed by little Robbie Starnes. Whitaker up on the top side, sitting down on the bottom, caution flag. Caution flag on the racetrack, turn number 1. Turn number 1, Ryan McDonald. McDonald loses a grip and spins at turn number 1. Just a great jump out of the box right there by Stephen Whitaker. However, you saw a good push down on the backside by Kevin Sitton. Sitton got a run off of turn number 2, and he had a bead right there on the back bumper of the 89 of Whitaker. However, the caution flag comes back out, so we're going to have to try it one more time. Stephen Whitaker, you saw him there in the modified race just a couple of minutes ago. He has jumped out of that IMCA modified, jumped in here to his super late model, and what a run this guy has had all around the country. If you've been watching Whitaker about the last month and a half, you've seen all the racing that he's been doing all around the country, and this guy has not disappointed and has represented the Lone Star State in a really, really good way with the racing he's been doing around the country. And here he is up at the front of the pack right now. as he'll try to take this one home after coming up just a little bit short right there in that IMCA modified main event. Eric Thorne back up to the outside, complete restart, no laps complete, still 25 laps to go here in your super late models. Here we go down into the corner, we're ready to rock and roll. Green flag in the air, we are racing once again here at Texana Raceway Park. Whitaker down into turn number 1. Here comes the 1 car. That is sitting once again, sitting up to the second spot. They battle down into the corner. Manchester up on the top side as they race out of corner number 4. Eric Thorne in the 260, holding that advantage. And here's Starnes right behind him. Bobby Starnes racing in the 4th spot. Working up at the top of the racetrack is Neil Manchester. Now Manchester tries to go down to the bottom. Eric Thorne throws the block. Single file the top 3. Whitaker followed by the 1 car sitting, and Robbie Starnes. Side by side, the battle happening right there behind them. Eric Thorne, Neil Manchester, Austin Beach. Onto the back straightaway they go. Caution flag waves once again. Turn number 4. 1 car sideways. Turn number 4. Losing the grip right there at the exit of corner number 4. So the yellow flag waves once again. We're with 2 laps complete. Second caution flag here of your late model main event. Looks like that is the 19 car involved down there, car number 19. Barry Quaid sideways there out of turn number 4. He gets a turn back around and he will rejoin the pack. Still up at the front, it is Whitaker in car number 89. A couple of really nice starts right there. He finds himself up at the front, sitting right in the 2nd spot, followed by the 25 car, Little Robbie Starnes. Eric Thorne rides in the 4th spot. Brandon Brzezowski there in the 10-4. Hanging on right there in, currently sitting in the 4th spot as they run around on the grid right now. Only 2 laps complete, still 23 to go. Looks like 1 casualty right there. Ray Allen Kahalnik there in the 33 as he goes down to the inside. Sitting in the infield, that is the 33 of Kahalnik. So into the night for the driver out of Danbury there in the 33K car. Race control working to get the field back in line as we get set for a restart here once again. 2 cautions here in this super late model main event. Only 2 laps in at this point. Still working to get that lineup adjusted to get everybody back in line here. All right, looks like we have everybody where we need them. So Texas 2-step restart coming up as we get set to go with Steve Whitaker up on the point. He will bring the field down to the rolled up green flag. We show him one right here. Kevin Sitton rides in the 2nd spot, followed by Robbie Starnes, Brandon Brzezowski, and Eric Thorne. That is your top 5. Neil Manchester, Austin Thies, Brian Stipe, Eddie Hardage, Rory Jordan, and Cody Leonard round out your top 10. Here we go. We are set to go. 23 laps to go here in your super late model main event at the 2021 Clash. Into turn number 3 we go. It is green flag racing. We are racing once again. Turn number 1 they go. It's Whitaker. with a nice jump once again as he's able to get the whole shot move right there over Kevin Sitton. Caution flag on the racetrack once again. Yellow flag. Looks like Jason Kelly right here along the front stretch. Jason Kelly with a problem here on the front straightaways. He sits right up against the wall here at turn number 1, or front straightaway at the entrance of turn number 1. So the 57 car parked right here along the front straightaway wall. Here comes the wrecker to give him a shove, see if the 57 car will get fired and get him rolling once again. It looks like he will go off on the hook. So we'll try it once again on the restart. Once again, it was Whitaker with a nice jump right there. As he got the jump there over Sitton. So it looks like Whitaker on point as well here tonight here in his super late model. Still running in that same lineup that we had at that restart, as we got maybe half a lap there under green before the incident happens right here with Kelly along the front straightaway. That car on the hook, and he will be dragged off the racetrack down into the infield. Second car to exit here out of this super late model main event. So we'll go back to that Texas two-step restart once again with Whitaker out on the point by his lonesome. And we'll double stack him right there behind him as the Kelly car goes down to the infield. Rolled up green flag up in the bird cage. We're going to show him one this time by. Showing him one right here as they roll past the grandstand here at Texana Raceway Park. Still 23 laps to go here in the late model main event. Limited modified still to come here tonight at the 2021 class. Here is Whitaker taking the field onto the back straightaway. Lights go off around the racetrack. We are set to rock and roll once again here with late model racing. They ease it down into corner number 3. Sitting riding right behind him along with Robbie Starnes. Green and going, we're racing late models here at Texana Raceway Park. Whitaker, half a car length down into turn number 1. Back straightaway they go. Kevin Sitton now drops back 2.5 car lengths. Robbie Starnes followed by Brzezowski. And up on the top side, it is the 260 of Eric Thorne. Caution flag on the racetrack once again. Yellow flag, 2 cars at turn number 1. 2 cars sideways at turn number 1. So looks like the 88 car of Bobby Jack involved. Bobby Jack and possibly the number 5 car of Ryan McDonald. That car sitting down on the inside. Still showing only 2 laps complete here in the late models. Whitaker once again with just a nice surge as they drop the green flag, and Whitaker just dives down into the corner. And that is the 5 car there, McDonald, as he will get a shove. That is a busy wrecker here in this late model main event. Still 23 laps to go. Here's McDonald as they will push him into the infield. So now 3 cars out of the event. You got, well, no, actually, he's going to come back in. Here's McDonald back in the 5. Still only 2 cars out of the race, the 57 of Kelly and the 33 of Kahonik. Here comes Whitaker dragging the field around. Still under caution as we roll that green flag up, and we show them one this time by. Showing them one right here as they make their way in front of the grandstand here at Texana. Onto the back straightaway they go. 2 laps complete. Stevie Whitaker, let's watch how he times that restart once again. Kevin Sitton in the 2nd spot. Robbie Starnes, Brandon Brzezowski, Neil Manchester. That is your top 5. Here we go. making their way out of turn 4. Green flag in the air. We're racing once again at Texana Raceway Park. Whitaker, 1.5 car lengths down into corner number 1. Sitting riding in the second spot. Robbie Starnes up on the top side. Brandon Brzezowski testing the waters down on the bottom, but it's Starnes going back in front of him. He'll put the nose of that car number, the 10-4, right up on the backside, as now the 407 of Neil Manchester eases into the 5th spot, able to make the pass on Eric Thorne. Back straight away they go. Here's Austin Thies trying to take a peek down to the bottom. Tracy Denby right there as well. They settle in. Way up to the top of the racetrack is Austin Thies. He'll get it back in line and make his way down to the inside. Top 2 cars trying to check out from the pack. It is Stevie Whitaker and the 1 of Kevin Sitton making their way out of turn number 4. 2 car lengths is the advantage for Stevie Whitaker down into turn number 1. 6 laps complete. Check out this battle. Here comes Cody Leonard. Cody Leonard down to the inside, up to the back bumper of the 407 of Neil Manchester. Here's Cody Leonard going down to the bottom of the racetrack, up onto the back bumper, caution flag, trouble. Austin Thies out of turn number 2. Austin Thies in the 7. The 7D comes to a stop up at the top of the racetrack. Looks like that car just lost power right there. You had a battle happening right there. And it was Cody Leonard trying to race right there with Manchester and that 7D car. 7D car just loses the power out of corner number 2, and he comes to a stop there. He'll need a shove as well. Looks like it is a drive shaft issue. A drive shaft issue there on the 7D, so something goes awry there with the drive shaft, and that thing is not going to go if that drive shaft is not doing what it's supposed to be doing. So that explains the abrupt stop right there for the 7D of Austin Thies as he sits up at the top of turn number 2. Man on the move right now appears to be Cody Leonard in car number 48, as Leonard has found his way up into position number 6. After a really nice start right there, he sits behind Neil Manchester. Manchester in the 407. As they run right now, it is Whitaker up on the point, followed by Sitton running behind him. That's Starnes in the 25, the 10-4 of Brzezowski. Manchester in the 407. There is the 48 of Cody Leonard, the 22 car of Tracy Denby, and then the 260 of Eric Thorne. 7D will get a push over on the backside. A little bit of a run right there. 6 laps complete here in this 25-lap main event. Texas two-step restart coming up at Stevie Whitaker. Up on the point in car number 89 as we get set. Lights are out around the racetrack. Whitaker followed by Sitton and Starnes as they run right behind him, trying to get a long green flag run in as we go. Green flag in the air. We're racing at Texana Raceway Park. 2.5 car lengths into turn number 1 once again. Nailing the restart. Stevie Whitaker. Here comes Kevin Sitton. Another pass right there. Cody Leonard now up into the 5th spot as he goes to the inside of Neil Manchester, who goes up the racetrack. And Cody Leonard now running in the 4th spot. Trouble behind him. You've got the 5 car spinning once again. 5 car Ryan McDonald spins at corner number 3. I believe that is the 3rd spin of the race for the 5 cars. You had a little bit of bumper tag right there. You had people jamming on the brakes. You had a bumper tag event happening over there, and the 5 car comes to a stop, pointing in the wrong direction. But once again, just another great restart for Stevie Whitaker. Consistently 2 car lengths on the restart as he takes the field down into turn number 1. Jumps on the gas right there and takes off. Nobody has anything for the 89 on the start. But it is Leonard able to progress 1 spot forward as he makes a pass on the 407 of Neil Manchester, and he now rides in position number 5 here very early on in this super late model main event. Only 7 laps complete here of 25. Ryan McDonald getting a little help over there, seeing if that 5 car is going to fire. McDonald out of Floresville. And it looks like he will go down into the infield. Let's see if he'll try to hook it to the left and get it fired once again. Looks like it is the end of the night for McDonald in the 5 car. All right, race fans, it looks like we're ready to go. Lights are going out around the racetrack. Stevie Whitaker, can he do it again? Let's check this restart as they exit out of turn 4. Green flag displayed. We're racing. Nice jump that time. Kevin Sitton able to stay right on the back bumper that time. Here they go out of corner number 2. Back straightaway, but too much of a surge right there as the 89 car. 1 car linked out into the corner. It's Stevie Whitaker, Kevin Sitton, Brandon Brzezowski, or pardon me, Robbie Starnes, Brandon Brzezowski, Cody Leonard. That is your top 5 here in the super late model as we work towards lap number 10. Down to the bottom of the racetrack goes the 89 of Whitaker. Now back in line once again. Kevin Sitton right on the back bumper of the 1 car is the 25 of little Robbie Starnes. Now a battle shaping up behind them. Brandon Brzezowski in the 10-4. Cody Leonard, car number 48. Here's Cody trying to go down to the bottom of the racetrack. The 48 car on the move. Back up to the front of the pack we go once again. Whitaker hanging on. Here comes Sitton. Robbie Starnes rides 4 car lengths behind him. Brzezowski and Cody Leonard. 10 laps down here in this 25 lap main event. Back straight away they go. It's Stevie Whitaker up to the back bumper now. Bobby Jack. It's Bobby Jack up to the top of the racetrack. Whitaker will motor down on the inside. Beginning to open up the advantage now over Kevin Sitton. 1.1 second advantage, 1.009 seconds is the advantage for Stevie Whitaker as he races down into turn number 3. Oh, so close to winning that IMCA modified main event. You know he wants to pick up this late model win, as he was 3 laps away from winning the modified race. Not able to pull that one off, but he is in firm control right now of this late model main event. Great race happening as you check in on Speed Zone. Manchester right there. Stipe up to the top side. Tracy Denby in the 22. That is a great race out of turn number 4. Manchester, Stipe up on the top side. Tracy Denby and the 260 of Eric Thorne, who has fallen back here further back in the pack after starting on the outside of the front row here at the beginning of this race. Here's Stipe going up to the top side. Manchester trying to hold on to the spot. Tracy Denby down on the bottom side. 22 car will take the spot. Now in the shadows right there racing behind them is the 08 of Cody Hardage. Cody Hardage in the 08 as they go to the inside of Bobby Jack. Meanwhile, up at the front of the pack, it is Whitaker hanging on as he races into turn number 3. Whitaker about to be in the middle of all of this. He has to be having flashbacks to what he just saw in that modified race as he was checking out from the pack, and now here he comes up to the rear of the pack, and he is going to have to deal with this traffic, barring a caution flag. 17. They are working lap number 17 this time by as Whitaker makes his way out of turn number 4, past the start-finish line. Steve Whitaker down into corner number 1. Trouble for Brian Stipe up at the top of the racetrack. Car number 15, Stipe, who was in a great battle back here with Neil Manchester and Tracy Denby. And the 15 car of Stipe looks like it was going to come to a stop. He's able to get it moving good enough to get it down pit road, so he will exit out of the race as well. So a tough ending there for Stipe as he was having a massive battle back there with Manchester and Denby. Yellow flag out on the racetrack, 17 laps complete here out of 25, so a nice green flag run back there. Last time by for your race leader, Stevie Whitaker, is 1.608 seconds was the advantage for the driver of car number 89. And deja vu once again. I talked about deja vu a while ago. We saw him in the modified race as he was closing into the back of the pack. Just like in the modified race, right at the end of the race, as he's approaching the back markers, a caution flag comes out once again. Let's see what happens here at the ending of this one. Kevin Sitton continues to run in the runner-up position, followed by Robbie Starnes, Cody Leonard, and Brandon Brzezowski. Here we go down into the corner. Lights are off around the racetrack. Single file restart. Green and going. We're racing here in the modified. Whitaker on the gas. He'll take the field down into turn number 1, down at the bottom of the racetrack. Sit, trying to get a jump down at the bottom. Here is Cody Leonard. Cody Leonard makes a pass, and he will now go into the 3rd spot. Cody Leonard on the podium. Robbie Starnes up on the top side. This, my friends, is lap number 18. 18 laps complete here in your super late model. Back straightaway they go. Cody Leonard trying to work right there with Sinton. As they go down into turn number 3, Robbie Starnes falls back to 4th. Brandon Brzezowski, Neil Manchester, Tracy Digby, the 08 of Hardin. 2-car length advantage for car number 89, Stevie Whitaker, as he rolls down into corner number 3. This time by, it'll be 5 laps to go for your race leader, the driver of car number 89. The advantage beginning to widen once again as Whitaker now leads by 9/10 of a second as he exits out of turn number 2, goes to the bottom of the racetrack. Here comes Cody Leonard up to the back bumper of Kevin Sitton. Can Cody Leonard make a charge here in the final 4 laps? Cody Leonard down at the bottom. He's at the quarter panel. Down into the corner they go. Side by side momentarily on the gas. Cody Leonard will draw even into corner number 3. Cody Leonard on the inside. Kevin Sitton up on the top side. This time by lap number 22. 3 to go. Cody Leonard free and clear up to the 2nd spot as he makes the pass on Kevin Sitton. Sitton now relegated back to the 3rd spot, but it's still Stevie Whitaker. 2 sticks in the air, 2 more times around. Cody Leonard trails in the 2nd spot. The 1 car of Kevin Sitton, followed by Robbie Starnes and Brandon Brzezowski onto the back straightaway. Here is Whitaker down into corner number 3. This time, white flag in the air. 1 more time around for your race leader, Stevie Whitaker. Car number 89 seats came up just a bit short in the IMCA modified main event. However, right now, he is poised and on point to win in the super late model. Cody Leonard dives down into the corner, but it's not to be. Checkered flag in the air. Here is your winner, Stevie Whitaker, car number 89. Cody Leonard, Kevin Sitton, Robbie Starnes, and Brandon Brzezowski will round out your top 5. Whitaker would not be held back in this one as he's able to hold on, and he drives away from the pack, hitting every restart, able to check out, and Whitaker will park it in victory lane here at Texana Raceway Park. How about that drive right there for Cody Leonard as he makes his way through the field, slicing and dicing, makes a pass right there at the end, and finishes in the runner-up position. This car right here was the class of the field throughout the race as he goes wire to wire and wins it here tonight at Texana Raceway Park here at the 2021 Clash. Getting set to jump out of this car in victory lane once again. What a run he has had here in the super late models. He's been doing it all around the country. And here he is, not too far from home, coming home to win here this evening at Texana Raceway Park. There he is, Stephen Whitaker Jr. is your winner here tonight at Texana Raceway Park. Making his way around here, the trophy's waiting for him. Stevie, nice run right there, man. I know you. I don't know if you had the modified race in the back of your mind, but you were not going to be held back in this one.
I try to forget about that modified race. I felt like I got the feature taken away from me. Last time I checked, the leader starts the race, not 3rd place. I don't knock the winner for doing it. Congratulations to him. We're here to get everything we can get. But there's a lot of scores around here, and I was just frustrated the whole time with this. We lost a little bit of brakes in this. I felt terribly slow. I didn't know how I held everybody off, but I was just trying to putt around the bottom. Just still a little frustrated from that mod race.
It really looked like what you were doing extremely well, your restarts. I mean, you had 2.5 car lengths every time going into turn number 1. You were really nailing those starts, and so for you, a lot of it was just keeping the momentum going.
The caution, we're getting a little frustrating, you know, and I can tell the, you know, track staff was getting a little frustrated as well, which they should. It's kind of, yeah, I have an in this, so we have to run a harder tire. And when you keep having caution after caution, you can't get any heat in the tire, which means it's like you're riding on an ice brick until you get heat in it, and then it'll start working. So the first 3 or 4 laps are kind of sketchy, and I'm not much of a bottom kind of guy, so you know, I enjoy coming here because of the staff and treats us well, and you know, the racetrack's been good. But this track's always been one of the ones that I come to that I don't feel confident. It doesn't suit my driving style, and it's just me. Like every time I come here, I don't know if I'm gonna finish 20th or win.
Absolutely. Well, tonight it is in victory lane here with the late models. Stephen Whitaker Jr. is your winner. Congratulations, my man, as he parks it here at the Clash in victory lane. Coming up, it'll be your limited modifieds final main event of the 2021 Clash. All right, race fans, one more to go. $2,000 on the line coming up. Your limited modifieds getting set to roll out onto the racetrack for 30 laps of action. The finale of the 2021 Clash right here at Texana Raceway Park. Final 2021 race here at Texana. Limited modifieds, what a field we have. And we've seen some great racing tonight, and this one will not disappoint. As those limited modifieds get set to roll out onto the racetrack, focus your attention up to the top of turn number 4. They will be rolling out shortly. Here's your starting lineup for the 30-lap main event. On the pole, car number 53 out of Cuero. It's Edward Oaks on the outside. Out of Petronia, car number 87. It is Lawrence Miklicek, the one and only Lawrence Miklicek. Row 2 on the inside in the 98H. Out of New Waverly, it's Garrett Higgins on the outside. Out of Brazoria, Bryce Reed. Row 3 on the inside. Out of San Antonio, Johnny Torres. On the outside, out of Portland, Tanner Whitmire. Row 4 on the inside. Out of Cleveland, Calvin Tucker. On the outside, Troy Alford. Out of Magnolia. Row 5 on the inside. Daniel Preston out of Odom. On the outside, out of Westlaco, Jared Maupin. Row 6 on the inside. Out of Anderson, it's David Leger. On the outside, out of Richmond, Caleb Cellular. Row 7 on the inside. The 23 out of Dayton. It's Howard Willis on the outside. Out of Hardin, Brandon Martin. Row 8 on the inside. Out of Portland, the 164 of Jason Downey. On the outside, out of San Antonio, it's Trent Beaver. Row 9, H15, Joseph Ponton Jr. out of Hockley. On the outside, out of Cuero, Nathan Oakes, car number 21. Final row, inside, in the 184, out of Corpus Christi, it's Brian Rye. On the outside, also out of Corpus Christi, it's Ben Maklicek. Maklicek behind the wheel of the 13M. 30-lap main event here for your limited modifieds. And the BD1 out on the race car, Eddie Ross with the provisional being the track champion. So we are set to go. 30-lap main event to finish it off. What a year 2021 has been. Here's your last race. Green flag, we're racing. Off we go. Edward Oaks down on the inside. Oaks, bottom of the racetrack. Lawrence Miklicek up on the top side. Garrett Higgins, off they go side by side behind Higgins. Johnny Torres is there in the 66. Up on the top side is Bryce Reed. Caution flag, caution flag. Turn number 2, you got Trent Beaver in a melee. Looks like Beaver involved there with one other car up on the top side. So that incident out of corner number 2, and we wave the yellow flag here on the initial start. A nice start right there by Edward Oaks as he gets the jump. able to pin Miklicek just a little high there. As they went into turn number 1, Lawrence kind of takes that car, lets it drift up a little bit. Oaks cranks that wheel straight to the left, slaps that gas pedal, and that 53 car just bolts down the back straightaway. But the yellow flag does wave, so there is Eddie Ross right there in the BD1 track champion right here at Texana Raceway Park. So he gets the champion's provisional to get himself here into this 30-lap main event. $2,000 to win for your limited modifieds. With the off-season coming, we do remind you to check out the Texana Raceway Park Facebook page. That's going to be your place for all 2021 updates, everything that may be coming up, race schedules and so forth. Pretty easy to find. Texana Raceway Park on Facebook. Great stuff right there. You can have updates as to what is going on as we move forward into 2022. So still working over there at turn number 2. It looks like the Trent Beaver car pinned up there, and looks like everything broken free right there as the other car is off and rolling. And now they will address the 14 car, and you got a big chunk of the backside missing on that race car. Making its way over to the pits. Looks like it'll be Katie Bar the door into the night right there. I believe that was a 42 car, Brandon Martin. As that car goes to the pits, so still no laps complete here in this 30-lap main event. Phil rolling around. We will double stack them and do it once again. Re-rack and restack. Try it one more time as we get set to go here for 30 laps with your limited modifieds. Edward Oaks on the point, car number 53. Lawrence Miklicek on the outside. Garrett Higgins inside of row number 2. Bryce Reed on the outside of Higgins on the inside. On the outside, Bryce Reed. Row 3 on the inside, Johnny Torres. And Tanner Whitmire flanked up on the top side of Torres in row number 3. Row 4 on the inside, Calvin Tucker, car number 91. Troy Alford. We're set to go. Lights are out around the racetrack. Let's rock and roll right here. 30 laps to go. Green flag in the air. We're racing at Texana Raceway Park. Edward Oaks on the gas once again. Side-by-side battle. Garrett Higgins down on the inside. The legend, Lawrence Miklicek up on the top side. Look at that surge. The 87 car working up on the top side. Miklicek trying to grab that second spot. Here comes Garrett Higgins on the bottom. 3-car battle for the lead. It's Edward Oaks side-by-side behind him on the inside. It's Garrett Higgins on the top side. Lawrence Miklicek. Johnny Torres, car number 66, right behind them. Calvin Tucker, Tanner Whitmire, Daniel Preston. Here they go down into the corner, single file momentarily. Up at the front of the pack, hanging on right there is the 53 car of Oaks. Miklicek up to the top of the racetrack. Takes a nice straight entry in right there. Here's Garrett Higgins going down to the bottom of the racetrack. Side by side, Miklicek right there. Higgins going down to the bottom. The 66 car of Johnny Torres. Side by side, the battle happening behind them. The 77 car working up on the top side. Bryce Reed as he takes a long way around the 91 car of Calvin Tucker. Side by side is your battle for the second spot. Down on the inside is Garrett Higgins. Up on the top side, Miklicek. Here's Lawrence. Lawrence takes it way up to the top shelf. He'll power it off of the corner and go into position number 2 and sets his sights on the leader, Edward Oaks. But here comes the 98. Higgins coming right back at him. You got a good battle happening back there behind them. 77 car, Bryce Reed, Calvin Tucker, and Tanner Whitmire. Now Whitmire slips back a little bit further there into the loving arms of Jared Moffitt as the leaders flash by once again. 4-car breakaway right here. You got a trophy dash, $2,000 trophy dash. Lawrence Miklicek right there on the back bumper. Maybe a little bit of a tap onto the back bumper of Edward Oaks. Here's Miklicek. Miklicek and Oaks working on the top side. Higgins and the 66 car, Johnny Torres working down on the bottom. They know go side by side into the corner. Back straightaway they go. Edward Oaks, 3-car length advantage over Lawrence Miklicek down into turn number 3. Johnny Torres trying to work down at the bottom. Garrett Higgins following as a bottom feed just a little bit right there out of the turn. Racetrack still in phenomenal shape. No dust whatsoever. A little bit of dust out of corner number 4, but the ruts, you do not see them. These cars, nice, smooth, shiny surface. The track has worked itself in perfectly here tonight as Edward Oaks continues to lead. But here comes Johnny Torres down at the bottom. Miklicek up on the top side. Here's Miklicek with the drive off of turn number 2. Johnny Torres working down at the bottom. Torres is going to try to drive it deep into the corner. Parks it down at the bottom of the racetrack. Miklicek up on the top side. Edward Oaks hanging on. You got a dogfight happening right there for the second spot. It's man and machine right down there on the bottom as these Warriors race out of turn number 3. Torres on the bottom. Miklicek up on the top side. Here they come around once again. It continues to be Oaks hanging on as he leads by 4 car lengths into turn number 1. They work lap number 11. Here's Johnny Torres trying to go free and clear on the bottom side. Miklicek up to the top side, and Miklicek will settle for 3rd for the moment. But here's Lawrence going back up to the top again. Texas Sweet Tea, Johnny Torres down on the bottom. Into turn number 1 they go. Torres working that bottom groove, trying to get free and clear, but Miklicek will not let him go. Miklicek staying up on the top side. Lawrence once again way up to the top. Torres is going to slice it down to the bottom. And Johnny Torres free and clear right there to the 2nd spot as Miklicek goes up to the top. Edward Oaks onto the back straightaway, continuing to hold on. He leads by 2.5 car lengths, dragging the field down in the corner number 2. This time by. This is lap number 13. 13 laps complete, working towards the halfway point. 30-lap main event for your limited modified here tonight at Texana Raceway Park. Final race of the 2021 clash. Down into turn number 3 they go, working down at the bottom. Now Oaks going down to the bottom of the racetrack. His exit is up at the top of the racetrack, but you'll watch him right here, opens up the bottom, and here comes Johnny Torres. Torres trying to get the push off of turn 2. Oaks up to the middle of the racetrack. Johnny Torres off the racetrack. Johnny Torres off the racetrack. Into the night for car 66. Eddie Ross sideways at turn 4. And the caution flag comes out. Johnny Torres in the 2nd spot looked like he was about to make a move down to the inside. But something goes away on car number 66, and Johnny Torres down into the infield. Into the night for Torres. '66 car with a nice drive, was really working down there at the bottom of the racetrack. It looked like he was really trying to set Oaks up there for a pass. However, it goes wrong, and he just sharp left turn down into the infield, into the night for the 66, and it continues to be Oaks hanging on. We show him one this time by. We show him one this time by. It is Lawrence Miklicek holding on to the 2nd spot. The 98 car, Garrett Higgins, is right there, followed by the 91 of Calvin Tucker. And knocking on the door on the outside of row number 3, silently here has come Jared Maupin up into the top 5. We are set to go once again. 14 laps complete, knocking on the door halfway here in your limited modified feature race. Green flag in the air, we're racing. Off they go into turn number 1. Edward Oaks up on the top side, opens the bottom door. Higgins a little bit of contact. They bottleneck it up behind him. We got a spinner at turn number 2. One car sitting down at the bottom of the racetrack, and I think this will draw a caution. Looks like the 164 of Jason Downey. Jason Downey sideways spins out of the 11th spot right there. She had a lot of brake checking going on right there. As the packed race down into turn number 1. Brakes lock up there on the 164. He goes around. Caution flag comes out. And it was another nice start right there for Oaks. But an even better start for Garrett Higgins. As Higgins went down to the bottom of the racetrack, it looked like Garrett may have had the bead right there down at the bottom of the racetrack. Looked like he went really down into the gray stuff right there. Maybe a little bit of contact down between the 98 and the 53. However, no harm, no foul. They continued rolling right around. But we will go back to that last running order from that start. Did not get a lap in as that green flag came out. We know it's Edward Oaks up on the point, followed by Lawrence Mikulacek. Garrett Higgins is there, followed by Calvin Turner in car number 91. Jared Maupin running right behind him in car number 96. Next row right behind them, you got Howard Willis in car number 23, and up on the top side, Tanner Whitmire. So still 16 laps remaining here in your limited modified main event here at the 2021 Clash. Lots of racing yet to go in this one. Let's watch Oaks as we get set to go. Lights should be going off here, and they do. Edward Oaks with Garrett Higgins right there and Lawrence Mikulacek. Into turn number 3 they go. We are ready to rumble. Here we are. Green flag in the air. Let's go racing. Nice start by Edward Oaks. Good run up at the top by Mikulacek. Here's Higgins going down to the bottom once again. Nice job off of corner number 2. A little bit of a stumble right there for Higgins. Here's Mikulacek up on the top side. Here is a 91 car right in the middle. You got Howard Willis there. Calvin Tucker sitting in the 91 car in the middle of the racetrack. Howard Willis down on the bottom. Jared Maupin way up on the top side. 3 wide out of the corner. Willis, Tucker, and now Jared Maupin up to the 4th spot. Side by side, the battle happening in front of him. Garrett Higgins, Lawrence Mikulacek up on the top side. Jared Maupin runs in 4th. That right there is lap number 16. We're past the halfway point. The battle is happening behind your leader, Edward Oaks, down at the bottom of the racetrack. Car number 98, Garrett Higgins. The 87 to Lawrence Mikulacek. Jared Maupin side by side. Howard Willis down on the bottom. Calvin Tucker in the 91 car up on the top side. That is your battle for 5th. Top 6 cars. Some kind of stuff happening right here. Side by side. Mikulacek continuing to work up on the top side. Now he dives down in front of Higgins momentarily. Now Higgins working down at the bottom. It looks like Maupin deciding to go with Mikulacek. Higgins sits right there in front of him. Higgins goes down to the bottom of the racetrack. Edward Oaks down at the bottom of the racetrack. Got a smoker over here behind him. You got a fire there. That's Mikulacek. The 13M ablaze at turn 2. You got a fire at turn number 2. That's been Mikulacek in the 13M, but it looks like just a little bit of a flash flame right there as that flame goes out. And the car comes to a stop up at the top of turn number 2. With 18 laps complete, the 13M comes to a stop up at the top of the racetrack. So you're watching 2 different lines here at the front of the pack as they run right now. You got Edward Oaks working down at the bottom of the racetrack through the corners along with Garrett Higgins. Higgins doing the same thing. And then behind them, you've got Mikulacek, Lawrence, along with Jared Maupin. These guys are going up to the top shelf as they're trying to roll that top part of the racetrack in, as you've got multiple lines happening around the racetrack right now. So you've got 3 really, really good race lines happening as we race with 18 laps complete. And take a look right there. How about this? You got a top 5 right now. You got Lawrence Mikulacek sitting in the 2nd spot. You got Howard Willis sitting back there in position number 5. Howard Willis now with the night he was looking for on the start there, as he had to start a little bit further in the pack. But the legend out of Dayton, Texas has made his way up into the top 5, and now he sits 1 spot behind Jared Maupin. Howard Willis all the way up from the 14th starting position inside of row number 7, and here he is in the top 5. As Ben Mikulacek will head to the infield into 13M on the hook. And we now have 12 laps to go here in your limited modified main event here at the 2021 Clash. Final race of 2021 here at Texana Raceway Park. Edward Oaks has been your leader since the drop of the green flag. Garrett Higgins hot on his tail, but Higgins has had his hands full with Lawrence Miklicek, but now you got new players into the game. Jared Maupin in the 96. The legend, Howard Willis. You got Tucker there in the 91. You got Tanner Whitmire in the 101. And 12 laps. That's an eternity right here. Here we go. Lights getting set to go off around the racetrack, and it will be Edward Oaks setting the pace as we roll them down into corner number 3. 12 laps to go here in the limited modifieds. Takes them down just a little slow down into the corner. Working down at the bottom of the racetrack. He'll go at any point, and he goes now. Green flag. We're racing here at Texana Raceway Park. Up to the top side goes Lawrence. Higgins down on the bottom as he chases Oaks down into the corner. Back straightaway they go. Lawrence Miklicek, nice push up on the top side. Here comes Miklicek. Big time dive into turn number 3 on the top shelf. Working down at the bottom is Higgins. Lawrence up on the top side, trying to get the drive there. Edward Oaks down at the bottom of the racetrack. Lawrence Miklicek at the top. Trouble, Tucker at turn number 3. Calvin Tucker, turn number 3. And that's unfortunate for Tucker. He's been in the top 10 most of the night, but he goes around there in the corner. We get 1 lap in. We still have 11 to go. 19 laps complete here out of 30. Edward Oaks on the point in car number 53. There is the black flag, consultation flag issued to the 91 of Calvin Tucker. So that will be the end of the night for car number 91, as he will be ordered off of the racetrack. Car number 91. So into the night, 91 will take a little right turn right there, and his night is done. Field rolling around single file. Eleven laps to go here in the limited modified main event. Now they begin to go double stack behind the leader. Texas two-step restart. Edward Oaks on the point. Garrett Higgins, Lawrence Miklicek. Let's watch Miklicek. He is masterful up on the top side of the racetrack. Let's watch him as he tries to chase down the 53 car. Green flag's in the air. We're off and going once again here at Texana Raceway Park. Higgins down to the bottom of the racetrack. Edward Oaks right there as they almost touch going into the corner. Action happening behind him. Tanner Whitmire down at the bottom of the racetrack. David Leger is there. Howard Willis up on the top side. Throw a blanket over this pack right now as they race around. Edward Oaks out of turn number 4. Garrett Higgins, Lawrence Miklicek, Jared Maupin down at the bottom of the racetrack. Tanner Whitmire, David Leger, Howard Willis up on the top side. Here's Willis going down to the bottom. Willis to the inside of Tanner Whitmire. Big time move right there for Howard Willis, and the legend makes the pass, and he now rides in the 5th spot once again. Working lap number 22 as they make their way around. Edward Oaks. He leads by 2.5 car lengths over Garrett Higgins. Here comes Jared Maupin down to the inside as he's now gone to the bottom. He'll make the pass on Lawrence Miklicek, or does he? Here's Miklicek up to the top side. Howard Willis down at the bottom. Willis makes the pass. A little bit of trouble there for Maupin. And now you've got Lawrence Miklicek in the 3rd spot. Howard Willis down below him. What an honor for me to call this race with these two guys running 3rd and 4th. Past the start-finish line they go. Down into corner number 3. Battle up at the front. Battle for 3rd. Howard Willis down to the inside. Lawrence Miklicek up to the top side. This next time by. This will be lap number 24. Out of the corner they come. Edward Oaks past the start-finish line. 6 laps to go. Over Garrett Higgins. Higgins going down to the bottom. Up to the top is Oaks, but he'll drive it off the corner, and he's working up on the top side. Edward Oaks starting to widen that car out. Now he goes to the top. Higgins working down at the bottom. Behind them Here's Howard Willis down at the bottom. Lawrence Miklicek up on the top. 1, 2, 3, 4 down into the corner. Garrett Higgins, 5 laps to go. Edward Oaks drives it from the top of the racetrack. Back straightaway, 4 car lengths down into the corner. Here's Higgins going back down to the bottom. Howard Willis works at the bottom. Miklicek, 1 car length behind him, trying to click the laps off. It has been Edward Oaks since the beginning of the race, and now he continues to hold on. Back straightaway they go. The driver out of Cuero. He's a local guy. Here's Oaks up at the top of the racetrack. Miklicek now falling back into the front bumper there of the 96 car, Jared Maupin. 3 laps to go that time by side. Looks like some trouble on the 87 car. Miklicek up to the top of the racetrack. Maupin's going to try to slip by on the inside as Howard Willis makes a pass, and Howard Willis goes to second. Here we go. 2 sticks in the air. 2 more times around. Edward Oaks, Howard Willis, and up on the top side, Garrett Higgins. Jared Maupin down at the bottom of the racetrack. Lars Miklicek up on the top side. Here we go, race fans. One more time. Final white flag of the year in 2021. White flag. Edward Oaks, Howard Willis, Garrett Higgins. Howard Willis trying to work down at the bottom of the racetrack. Willis will slip back. Edward Oaks, great drive off of the corner. Oaks up to the top of the racetrack. Willis going to try to flat-foot it down at the bottom. Checkered flag in the air. Edward Oaks will win it over Howard Willis. The 98 of Garrett Higgins, Jared Maupin, Lawrence Miklicek, Tanner Whitmire, David Leger. What a race. What a drive right there for Edward Oaks as he wins. Howard Willis coming up to the second spot as you had Miklicek and Willis running right there. I'll tell you what, that made my season right there to call those 2 running nose to tail right there. Fantastic driving. Edward Oaks, your winner here over Howard Willis and Garrett Higgins. There he is, lighting it up right down here on the front straightaway. Great run for car number 53 as he wins. He'll pull it up for his victory lane interview as he wins here at Texana Raceway Park. What a drive, car number 53, as he goes wire to wire here in this race. Here he comes jumping out of the car. Edward Oaks is your winner here tonight at Texana Raceway Park. Doing it in style here tonight, my friend. I'll tell you, that was a work of art right there. You changed your line. You were working down at the bottom. You get down to the end. These guys, they just couldn't get a run on you. Tell us about your car tonight.
Well, I proved it. Everybody said I can only run on the top. I ran the whole night on the bottom and the top. You want me to go to the middle next time? We'll do it. Come on. Woo!
Absolutely, man. So on the restarts, I mean, I've been talking to guys. Winners tonight have just kicked ass on the restarts. You were just so quick, and you carried so much momentum there, and you drive it right off of turn number 2. Tell us how you were doing that.
Man, my 2 boys, Craig and Nathan, they've helped me. They work on this car. You can drive it with one hand, so it's great. And I'm glad the track was awesome. I'm glad for everybody to come out. God bless America.
Absolutely. So how cool for you? I mean, you're Cuero's hometown. So for you, this is your place right here. How cool to win the Clash in 2021 right here at your place.
Oh, that's cool. This is a home track. I started racing here in 1991. And on and off, back and forth, East Texas, Louisiana. But we live here, and this is our home track, and it's always fun.
Put your hands together. Your winner here tonight in the limited modifieds, $2,000 right there. Edward Oaks wins it here tonight. We're going over here to the second place driver. What an honor to call a race with this man in it. Howard Willis, what a drive for you tonight, sir. Just watching you methodically work your way. Tell us how you were checking those cars off.
Man, I thought it's 300 laps. I might have won this damn thing. But no, that's the best my car's ever worked here. But I could roll the bottom. I could just roll right around that old big tire down there and get a halt. But my car was going. I wish I had about 3 more laps.
So how cool, I got to tell you, my season was made to call you and Lawrence running, right there together. How cool is that?
That is cool, and I just passed him again. He's probably pissed off at me again.
There he is right there. This is a legend, everybody. Howard Willis, your runner-up here tonight at Texana Raceway Park.
Fat and happy. Fat and happy.
All right, Garrett Higgins right here. I'll tell you, Garrett, man, restarts, you and he, there were a couple of times you guys would dive into turn number one. He was working down at the bottom. Man, how close were you two to getting together there a couple times?
Man, it was real close. I was a little snug and geared wrong to be rolling the bottom, so I'd have to dive off in there and see if I can get him. If he'd shove enough where I could get under him, I'd get under him. I just didn't quite have the motor to pull the gear I was pulling, and man, it was just fun. I looked up, seen Howard was right behind me. I figured I was probably holding him up on the bottom. I know I've raced with him for the last 10 years, and I knew he was probably itching to get by and being nice, so I thought, well, I'm not gaining here. I'm gonna go to the top and try that, and Howard went by, and it's a good thing we ran out of laps, I think, because Howard was flying.
Yeah, he absolutely was. Talk about the track tonight. I was talking throughout the night. I really liked the factories came out, and those big old heavy cars, they come out and they set the track for you guys. Looked like you had multiple grooves out here.
Oh, I'll tell you what, track was awesome the whole night. They did a great job the whole weekend. I mean, we could run the bottom, the top, and man, it was racy. It was fun, a lot of fun.
Garrett Higgins right there, your third place car. You got Higgins at third. You got Willis coming home second. Edward Oaks is your winner in the limited modifieds here tonight at Texana Raceway Park here at the 2021 Clash. What a night. What a night of action. We hope you enjoyed this, friends. It's been a joy for us to bring you this. Have to give a big pat on the back, a big shout out to Owen Pittman and his staff right here at TRP. I'll tell you what, $35,000 purse that they paid out tonight. That is a lot of money. And I'll tell you what, you had a lot of cars traveling from all around the state and even beyond the state to come to race tonight. It's been a great night. So for the final time here in 2021, here at Texana Raceway Park, on behalf of Owen Pittman and the fantastic staff here at TRP, God bless you all. I wish you the best. Hoping to see you guys in 2022. My name is Rodney Rodriguez. Everybody be safe as you make your way home, everybody. Have a great rest of your weekend.